Hey man, I'm joining a religious cult.
Now that's ridiculous.
Well, I'm joining, so you gotta sign up too.
What are you talking about?
Hey, don't fuck me on this, alright? Just sign up.
No, I'm not going to join a cult.
I can't believe you're pulling this shit on me after Monday night.
What?
I wanted to watch Monday Night Football, and you wanted to watch that other show, and we watched your show. I did that for you.
Yeah, well, you kept flipping back to the game.
I wanted to see the fucking score! What do you gotta do that's so fucking important? You can't join the religious cult with me.
Well, I wanted to go sunbathing.
Oh, no, I don't think that's a good idea because this guy, Russell, he's the leader guy of the cult.
Yeah.
He was rambling on during one of his speeches about the sun being bad, like the beast can't come out because the sun's too bright and it hurts his eyes or something. You show up all sunburned, that guy's going to be pissed at you and me.
Well, I'm not in the cult, so I don't have to worry about pissing the leader guy off.
Look, I'm starting to believe in some of the stuff the cult guy's been saying, all right? Some of it makes a lot of sense.
Well, good, because I don't want to join the cult. We can still hang out, I just won't be in it with you.
The point is, I'm not going to have time to hang out with you because I'm going to be fucking busy with this fucking cult.
So I'll visit on the weekends. We'll work it out.
No, the weekends are like the busiest times. That's when we go to flea markets and fucking malls and talk people into joining.
Can I just join for a little while? I told my dad I'd visit him in Florida in 3 weeks.
You'll ask them, but we got to join now.
Well, what's the hurry?
There's a girl I want to meet there. What the fuck's your problem?
Well, I don't really have to believe in this stuff, do I?
No, just fucking tell everybody you believe in the shit. When they say the sun sucks, go, yeah, fuck the sun. I fucking hate it too. Long live the fucking beast.
I don't know, man. This is crazy.
Look, they're going to give you clothes. They're going to give you a free haircut. You're going to get food.
It's not going to be one of those weird haircuts, is it?
It's going to be a haircut, all right? You said you need a haircut. They're going to fucking cut your hair. You're going in saving $12. Just fucking do it.
You think the hot girl has a friend for me?
Probably. And if she doesn't, she'll go out and recruit one for you.
Well, all right. But hey, if I don't like it, I'm going to escape.
All right, that's up to you.
3 weeks later.
The right time is the right time. The right time is the right time. The right time is the right time.
Hey, buddy. Are you glad you did this?
Oh, this is the best thing I ever did. Thank you.
And you're not mad at them making you kill your father, are you?
You know, it's like they said, it was the only way to save him.
You're a good guy.
You're a better one.
And scene. So that being said, hello everyone and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, comedy sketches, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscoe, and with me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I'm great.
All right.
Love doing me some opening skits.
Yeah, and that being
Skits, bitch.
that being said, what are we talking about this week?
Well, we're doing a little tribute show to Adam Sandler for some fucking reason.
Right.
I'm at a loss as to why Adam Sandler suddenly jumped onto our list.
So it was weird because I was just I was listening to like a playlist on my Apple Music, and I decided to just do like a random comedy list, and an Adam Sandler track popped up from one of his comedy albums, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about this album, and I went back and I listened to the whole thing. I'm like, I forgot how fucking good all of this stuff was. And then I texted you that same day, and it just immediately snowballed. And then we had this opening in the schedule this week, so here we are.
Very good.
Yeah, talking about some Adam Sandler, specifically in the 90s. We're going to cover his time in the 90s because I feel like that was a pretty important thing for us and our generation.
Let's face it was his best work anyway.
Oh, sure. No doubt. But before we get into all that...
Veronica Vaughn, so hot, want to touch tiny.
We'll get there. Should we talk about some Patreon?
You should talk to Patreon.
Okay, so if you're enjoying the Sidebar Cantina's content, consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. For as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast and help make it possible for us to continue to bring you quality content week after week. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our current patrons, Shuck and Mark, Frank Kalevich, Frederick Martin, Lord Helmetfire, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Ivo G, Kristen Roscom, Nick from Sweet Studios, Catherine Rennick, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Don Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, David Schmuck, Wally Frogmore, Tony Ferrari, Brady Biglovin, and Dragon Buddy. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Our Patreon page is a great place to show or to give us your opinions regarding show topics and the direction of the podcast in general. Our patrons have decided, based on our most recent poll, that the Sidebar Cantina will be discussing Tool in 2 weeks, I believe. So, thank you to all of our patrons who have contributed to our poll. Please join us in 2 weeks on Monday, May 9th, where we will discuss the music of Tool. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this. And that's all I had to say about that. This is the point where you pull up the Red 5 stuff and you talk Red 5.
Well, you're supposed to give me a lead into the Red 5.
I just did.
That was not the lead in. That's not what you do.
I don't know.
But for the Red 5 network has expanded into the gaming world.
Yes.
You may have heard us talk about this before. I wish I had time to play games. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Sad face. Anyway, Red 5 network has expanded into the gaming world. Check out the new commercial Lunar Girl posted on the socials. Stay tuned as this new venture continues to grow into what will be daily streams of console, PC, mobile, and tabletop games, a weekly gaming news pod, and sessions from your favorite Red 5 podcasters like us.
Yes.
Hopefully like us. I really would love to play video games and be able to contribute some content to this.
Someday. Ooh, someday.
No! Please help by subscribing to Red 5 Gaming. Head to bio.link/Red5 Gaming. So we have another bio.link/Red, the number 5, Gaming.
So I'm probably going to have to start including that in the show description and all that.
Whatever cut and paste you have, you need to edit the cut and paste to include that one.
All right. Somebody send me that link proper so I can properly copy and paste it into.
More Red 5 news after the show.
Alrighty. Normally we get into this or that, but we have moved that to the main topic area. Do we want to talk about our weeks? Kind of a... No, but we're still going to. Though,
Fuck my week.
Wow. Okay. Well, I had a pretty big week.
Really?
Yes. So who the fuck is calling me from Atlantic City?
They calling.
It's just gonna have to go to voicemail. I'm sure it's a spam call anyway.
It's gotta be.
What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, I had a kind of a big week this week.
You kind of did.
So we've been alluding to this for a couple of weeks now, how I've been looking for new employment. I'm ready to move on from the Air Force, and I got a new job.
Cue the celebration music.
Which I don't have it
Fuck.
on the mixer.
We should really do that.
Damn it.
We should really somebody get on that.
Yeah.
Although there's probably some copyright things, so we'll have to like. Oh, you know what we do? We get kazoos. We'll do kazoos and play the celebration music and record it, and then we'll put that on the board.
That would be something.
We need kazoos.
Okay. Somebody get on this. Somebody send us kazoos in the mail.
Supergirl. Kazoos. We need kazoos.
Chop chop. So yeah, I interviewed. God, this was a couple of weeks ago now, for a job. They told me last week, or no, it was a little over a week ago. The timeline's all fuzzy. My whole life has become a blur. And yeah, they offered me a job, but then we went into the whole salary negotiations. That took a little bit of time. They gave me a salary offer that was adequate last week, and I accepted. And I informed the Air Force and my superiors that I am going to start my retirement process. Woo-hoo! So probably, if I had to guess, I'd say my start date with this new company is probably going to be mid-July. My last day in the Air Force is probably going to be the end of June. I'm going to roll into my vacation that I have going to California at the end of June, and then start my new job when I get back. And yeah.
Crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's fully sunk in yet, quite frankly.
It won't.
Because I'm still going to work every day. I'm still doing my normal thing, though I am working on my separation paperwork and all of that stuff. But I'm still going. I'm still seeing the same people every day. Nothing's really changed yet.
It's even when you're on terminal leave, it's like, so for those of you not familiar with the lingo, terminal leave is like basically all the time off that you've accrued in your career. At the end of your career, you basically take that all at once. Yeah. Right? Or you can pay it back, but that's honestly it's your time off. You fucking take your time off.
Yes.
So if you have 60 days, then you can take 60 days off.
Which I do.
And then you can use that 60 days to kind of start doing what you're doing and getting ready for your next job and getting ready for the rest of your life. And that is spectacular. And I think the timing is fortuitous. I think it's a really good time to be starting that next step. Yep. You know, before you get any older before the Air Force gets any worse, or or at least certain parts of it. And yeah, look, I think the both of us at some point when you're officially retired and you get your DD-214 blanket and you're sitting here reminiscing about it, I think we can both look back fondly on our careers and be thankful for everything that it gave for us.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like there's a really good feeling of not knowing that you don't have to deal with certain things.
Yeah, and it's those certain things that have been building up over the last several years that have just pushed me to a breaking point where I have to get out of here. My days are coming to an end, and I need to stop this before I have a fucking aneurysm or a heart attack from stress and all the other bullshit I got to deal with. So yeah, we're pretty much at the end here. I mean, again, I've already accepted the job. We've agreed on a salary. We haven't done the start date yet because I just took a drug test on Friday. They're doing a background check on me, which obviously is going to be fine. The drug test will be fine, even though legal weed is now here in Jersey.
Yeah, not for us.
Yeah, no, but they started selling it last week. So yeah, once all that stuff comes through, then we'll actually select my start date, and then that'll be that. And are you okay over there?
Nope.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't just ignore the man behind the curtain.
It's very hard to ignore that right now. I'm just saying.
It's just not.
Are you good?
Not really, but that's okay.
All
I'll
right.
live.
So now you listeners might be wondering, well, how is this new job going to affect the show? And as of right now, it's TBD. We don't know because we may have to shift from Mondays depending on what my new schedule looks like, because the good thing about this new schedule, personally, is that we do 4-day work weeks, 4 10-hour shifts, which is awesome. 3-day weekends every single weekend. However, my work days are pretty long. Monday will be a work day. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do a 10-hour shift on Mondays and then roll right into the podcast.
Yeah,
so
I think that'd be a little much, honestly.
Yeah, so we're gonna play it by ear. We're gonna wait until things kind of get closer, or maybe even until it's here. We might try it once, and if it doesn't work out, we'll have to shift to a different night.
We'll figure it out.
Yep. But again, we're talking July now, so no drastic changes until then.
I do, not to take away from your thunder at all, because celebrating a fellow retiree, my cousin Frederick Martin, a Patreon supporter of the show. He actually has his DD-214 in his hot little hand.
Like he just retired, like fairly recently.
So he's on terminal as we speak.
Oh, no shit.
Like, so come, I think June, he'll be home for good, and then a month or so later, I forget the exact dates, he'll be donezo. And
Sweet.
He'll have a career that have expanded multiple services, and gotten to spend a lot of time up in fucking Kodiak, Alaska. A lot more time than anyone else in the world. And
Right.
because of his time in Kodiak, Alaska, we have our signed copy of... Where is it? There.
I don't know what you're
It's
looking
over there.
for.
The Robot Chicken.
Oh, right.
It's over there. I can't. It's over on his... See? If you're watching on YouTube,
Oh, my God.
I'm pointing at
Oh,
Jason.
God. This is
There.
so distracting.
See? Right there? It's right there. It's right there.
Not distracted at all.
Look at how long my arm looks when I do this.
Yeah. This is strictly for the YouTube audience. Anybody listening on audio only, you're missing out on some good physical comedy on behalf of Dave. I feel very uncomfortable right now. So,
Go gadget arm.
in addition to this, we talked about how I've been kind of dealing with this whole liver disease thing.
Yeah.
For several months now. And I feel like as part of the whole getting out of the Air Force, new job, I really need to get on top of this whole liver disease problem I'm dealing with. And I did some research, and there was one way so far that these doctors have found to greatly reduce like the amount of fat in the liver. And that's like a low carb diet. People who went on a low carb diet, who went through this study, they found that they had significant fat reduction in their liver over like an 8-week trial or something like that. So I'm going with that. I'm going to be doing some very low carb diets. It's not like keto. I'm not going like full on keto, but very low carbs because I need some carbs because I still work out.
Right.
And I've been running. I ran 4 miles a couple days ago.
Idiot.
I know. But yeah, I'm going very low carb diet to hopefully try to like kill some of this fat that's been accumulating in my liver. And maybe I can be somewhat normal again soon, because I've been having some flare-ups with this thing, and it's really fucking annoying. And I'm, I want to have a beer every once in a while,
Right.
but I can't right now while I'm dealing with this. So
Yeah.
I gotta get over this hump. Got to lose some weight first, and then maybe towards the end of this calendar year I can start being somewhat normal again. But it's going to be several months of me going low carb, lots of exercise, hopefully a lot of weight loss. I'm going to have to potentially sacrifice some muscle mass, so you won't get to see the big guns yet. But it's all for the greater good.
I know everyone will be the greater good. No, I know everyone will be so disappointed.
I know.
The snaps will just be like, oh my god, they're so inadequate because he's like doesn't have the guns.
Mm-hmm.
But just a reminder, there is a cookbook for you in the car. Don't let me forget.
Yes.
Now that I'm saying it on the air.
Oh, I'm sure I'm still going to forget.
Yeah,
so
probably. But I've said it on the air, so somebody will remind us.
Hopefully by the end of the show.
By the end of the show.
To get the cookbook out of your car.
Right.
Yes.
And also that is a favorite cookbook of the household.
Oh, so if anything happens to it, I'm in deep shit?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So that is on record. So there, my ass is covered. I've done what I've had to do.
Yep.
So
your
there it
hands are
is.
clean, except
Yes.
for actually handing over the book.
Which may or may not happen after the show.
Indeed. All right. The only other thing I have is yesterday I went to a Magic tournament. A new set came out, so they do these pre-release events every time a new set comes out,
Right.
and they give you a bunch of packs. You open the packs, you make a deck with the cards that you got, and you play in a tournament. Well, me and Rob went, and I won the whole tournament.
No
yesterday.
shit.
Yep.
Nice.
So I still got it. That's why I titled this thing "The Old Magician."
Nice.
But the funny thing is two of my opponents throughout the day asked me like, "How long have you been playing Magic?" And I'm like, "Since 1994." And then their eyes just lit up, and both of them had the exact same reaction. I wasn't even born then. I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot.
94.
94.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait.
94.
94.
So
We have to slow that down.
yeah.
We have to slow down that drop.
Yep.
Wow. So what'd you get for winning the whole thing?
More cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. No, it was good. But I beat up on all the kids and kind of showed them what was what.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And if you go to our Instagram page at the Sidebar Cantina, I said it before you asked me. There was a little preview video
that's right.
of what the
Yeah, because
short version of the haps of the tournament.
yeah, I had to take a video in between rounds because they frown upon people recording or even taking pictures while people are actually playing the game. It's actually against the rules to have phones out during tournament matches.
Giveaway strategies or something.
I guess. So
Fair enough.
yep. But either way, that's been my week. It's been pretty big.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, your week was awesome.
yeah. Was yours?
No, no, I did not have that kind of week. But I will say that it was a busy week.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy and I, we went out a couple of times. We socialized for the first time in larger groups
Mm-hmm.
since the pandemic. I hated it. It's not that I hated it, and we talked a little bit about this pre-show. It's like I was already like not super cool with crowds, but like in the appropriate setting where like the threat level was real low,
Sure.
I was fine. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe I have to like ease my way back into it.
Mm.
That's what she said. I just both these particular settings were very low threat, people that I knew, but it was a crowded area, and afterwards I was way too happy to be away from it, and I felt guilty about that.
Mm.
It's like I feel bad that I feel so good that I left that particular scenario. So I don't. It's post-COVID, post just Dave being Dave-isms, I guess. But
Mhm.
so it was a busy weekend, a lot of driving around and stuff. But it was nice to like do some normal stuff,
Sure.
like because it did feel kind of normal to go and interact with people, no masks, just out doing things that people do.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like I'm doing all this stuff for school, and like it's going to be interesting how much our social structure is going to change because of the pandemic.
Right.
Like even like we went to an engagement party, which was very, very nice. It was at a vineyard up in Pennington. It was
Fancy.
yeah, it was a nice little setup. But these social contracts that we have for attending these events, and why you do particular things, like you do this because of this and this, right?
Mhm.
So for example, like you would attend this person's birthday party because they attended yours, like the reciprocation of certain things, and it's going to things just because you're expected to go to them.
Mhm.
Like for me, what the pandemic reinforced was the fact that I don't have to do shit. Like honestly, I am 46 years old and I don't have to do a fucking thing if I don't want to.
Yeah.
And how old am I?
You just said 46.
Is that right?
You were born in 75?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what am I, 47 this year?
47.
47 this year.
God damn.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'll be 46 at the end of this year.
Oh my fucking God, I'm so old. Anyway, but yeah, it just reinforces the fact that like all these things that I had pre-pandemic, and it was like, oh well, this person's having this thing, like, oh well, we should really go to this thing because here's the expectation of like what the family's going to think and everything else. And now I don't have any of that. It's like they're going to continue to live on without that, without me showing my face at their event. And if they're upset because I'm not there, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care because it's not that important. It really isn't.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't know if it's just me.
Well, I kind of wonder if at some point in our lives you hit that point where it's like, well, there's fewer days ahead than there are behind. I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do anymore.
Well, but I look at a lot of other people and I feel like that they engage in a lot of social activity, and that's how they they do it more frequently as they get older. Whereas for me, I feel like I want to do it less. Like I said, it could very isolated to me, and it could be exacerbated by the pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like,
and you've always had a little bit of social anxiety anyway.
yeah, I fake it till I make it most of the time. But
Yeah. Like
yeah.
even pre-pandemic, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah,
So
it's just fucking. I literally felt bad because I felt so good to not be out of those social situations.
it's like you said, man, fuck them. If they
Yeah.
don't understand, then who gives a shit?
I will say that was on Friday night. We were out. We're at this particular dinner, and we met a couple that happened to meet, and they connected because of Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kathy was talking to them, and then she called me over and actually gave them. I had a business card in my wallet and gave them a business card for the podcast.
Uh-huh.
So
they could be watching right now.
Could be.
Okay.
And if I could remember, I think it's Christian and shit.
Hopefully they're not listening right now.
I can't remember names, but it was a lovely couple. They have cats. Oh fuck. What is her name? See, I'm going through this whole, like in school, we're talking about memory and how like encoding and everything.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff is in my memory. Like all this other stuff, not so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so they connected through Star Wars, and she was talking about how
Isaac's giving you ideas. Is it Hannah?
No.
Susie?
No.
Andrea?
No.
Heather?
No.
Is that how you want to say no? Is it Laura?
No.
Gigi?
No. I think that's Giggle. No. Anyway, they were talking about the old toys, that they had like from back in the 70s, and she had like some of the original toys with the Death Star.
Oh, so they're more like our age.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like with the Dianoga, like she had the original Death Star with the Dianoga with the foam parts and still had all that stuff. So like, oh yeah, it was great. It's cool to like run into people our age that had like appreciated Star Wars and the toys.
So you said that they came together because of Star Wars,
Right?
Like, what's the background of that? Like, what's the story behind that?
I don't remember. I just like I was brought into the conversation, like into the Star Wars portion of the conversation, right? And they were talking about the toys. Like that's Kathy was having a conversation with them. I was having a conversation over here,
right?
And then she's like, "Hey, come here, and I'm going to force you into this conversation." So then I was like, "Oh, Star Wars. Okay, I can get into this." And then to talk, toys, cool. And then like, oh yeah, podcast. Here's a card, cool. Cats. So then there was other people that were talking about cats. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about cats. I'm going to back my way out of this conversation. But anyway, if you're listening, thank you for listening. But yeah, so Star Wars, people connecting through Star Wars. What our podcast is all about.
Indeed.
It was nice out on yesterday. Quite frankly.
Yeah, every day but today.
Yeah, well, yesterday was nice. Saturday was kind of like it was a little.
Saturday was what?
Chilly.
Like, I don't know if you can see I've still got some red on my head.
You
I got sunburned on Saturday. I was outside for a good portion of the day.
Wow,
Yeah.
you were outside?
I was.
What were you doing?
Just standing and socializing.
Shut up.
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
That is weird.
The fuck is this world coming to?
It is weird. What the are you? Is this really Jason?
Yeah. Changes. Seriously, it's me. I swear. He's got a knife.
No, I don't.
This wouldn't be the first time I've had a knife pulled on me in the show.
Facts. Anyway, yeah, the
nice weather.
Nice weather. Yes, it's been nice. So one of the worst things is I procrastinate on most of the heavy lifting of my homework until the weekend, so that I can like really, really fucking stress about it.
Sure.
And then like basically be up until midnight to submit papers. And this weekend was no exception. Because when it's nice out, I am not a 12-year-old that is like being punished that has to get her homework done before they can go outside and play. Like I don't fucking care.
Right.
Like if it's nice, if I'm looking out that fucking window and it's fucking nice out there, I see the sun shining, there's fucking birds chirping, it's fucking 72 degrees outside. You fucking think for 1 second I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna do fucking homework? Fuck you. I'm going the fuck outside and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck, because it's too fucking nice outside.
Yeah.
And the days are too fucking short to not at least go outside, get my fucking requirement of vitamin D, put on some sunblock, obviously. Yeah, I need to. You see some of these spots on my face? I need to put sunblock on.
It might be a tumor.
Not a tumor. This is Adam Sandler week, not Arnold
sorry.
week.
My mistake.
But yeah, I can't. I just couldn't do it. And yesterday in particular, I was like, I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to like do classwork during the day.
At least you're honest with yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck this, dude. So I went and did the lawn and then worked on the Jeep stuff. I did this. I'm super, super proud of myself. I did this like this kind of MacGyver mod where I build up a, like, you know, those of you who may be new to the podcast, and Jason and I started our careers in the Air Force as avionics troops.
Yeah. Aircraft mechanics,
Right.
basically.
And that were specialized in like electronics and, you know, stuff that had to do with the instrumentation of the aircraft.
Yep.
So one of the issues I was having in the Jeep was with the ignition. And so I basically designed this little circuit with a relay. I bought a $20 4-post relay and fucking wired it up with a toggle switch.
Where do you buy something like that nowadays? Because there's no
AutoZone.
Okay, because I was going to say Radio Shack isn't a thing anymore.
I know, right?
That's where you used to go back in the day.
Oh, I so wish, like, if there had been a Radio Shack, I would have had everything I needed, like, in seconds.
Yeah.
Instead, I had to go to AutoZone and try and, like, AutoZone actually had the stuff. Believe it or not, Amazon actually failed me on this one because when I was ordering something off of Amazon, the description, when I went back, like, because mentally I had an idea what I wanted the circuit to look like, and you know, I'll be perfectly honest, like there was a bunch of YouTube stuff that I had watched. There were people that were doing something similar, but not the same thing because they were doing something with keyless.
Yeah.
But I wanted to use the key still, just for security reasons. So, like how I designed the circuit was going to be a little bit different. And then when I bought this particular part, I'm like, fuck. And then I wanted to cancel it. Then I have to fucking pay it and then return it. It's like it's whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where if I just been able to go to Radio Shack to pick up a fucking 4-post diode, I could have. But yeah, for AutoZone, I rolled in there and they had, it's, you know, it's really simple. It's just a fucking, you know, it's not pulling a lot of amperage. It's milliamps.
Yeah, gets the job done, right?
Yeah, it's just pulling the small voltage and providing power and fucking works great. So, but my contortionist act that was reminiscent of the days when we were avionics troops and
having to like fit your arms in the weird positions and your hands and fingers and
my fucking head on the rudder pedals, jamming my arms up behind a fucking dashboard.
the dashboard that would come out like half an inch
If it came out at all.
Yeah.
And trying to release plugs that have been together for fucking 35 years. Yeah. Extremely reminiscent of former life. But it was fun. It was fun. I made an investment in an older Jeep because I wanted to have something that I could still, you know, I enjoy fixing things. There's like that little bit of joy of like making that repair or creating that repair.
Sure. Yeah.
And it working. Like there's a level of satisfaction there that you really can't get doing a lot of things. At least as an adult.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it was that was cool. And then like, oh great. Now I can sit down and focus on my fucking homework. Because I like, look, this Jeep is a project thing, so it's daytime VFR only. So if it's not, the weather's not right and it's dark out, no, I'm not working on it because I don't have to.
Right.
So yeah, I worked as long as I needed to, and then came in and got my paper done. Still waiting on a grade.
Yeah.
But
hey, at least you finished, right?
I got it finished. I got it submitted. Everything before the deadline by 15 minutes. But yeah, it's exhausting. I still don't have a good battle rhythm yet. It'll come.
How long is the semester?
9 weeks. I'm on week 6 right now.
Holy fuck. We're already 6 weeks in?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I know.
It's been that long already?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
We wish.
But
yeah, that was my week. It was
all right.
I'm sure I'm missing something, but
yeah.
Good enough.
All right. Are we ready to get into our main topic? Do you need a break?
I don't, but I need to turn off the fucking heat. Is the heat still on?
It is.
I am sweating like a fucking...
I'm cold, but that's fine. You can turn it off.
You're cold right now.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be insufferable when you have, like, no body fat. You realize that, right?
Probably.
Especially because you're over there. You're going to be closer to the fucking air conditioning.
Yeah. Such is life. But still, you can kill the heat.
Make you go get a fucking... Are you wearing shorts or you got pants on?
I'm wearing shorts. It's springtime.
And you're complaining about being cold.
I'm not complaining. You just happened to ask, and I said, yes, I am cold. But
fuck you and your shorts. If I had shorts on, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't have shorts on.
Because somebody actually went to work today.
Yeah.
I teleworked. It's off. The light went out. Oh, my God. This is Dave learns how to work a heater.
It's my fucking heater. I know exactly how it works.
Nah, I think it's that whole possession thing. I've been in possession of that for several years now, so it's technically mine.
Yeah, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that I know how it works.
Do you, though? Because you were fucking finger banging that thing for okay. And anyway, moving on to Adam Sandler.
I got my knife back. Like,
and where was it?
So, it was getting sharpened. Helmet Fire had been gracious enough to get it sent in to Benchmade for me because it's an auto open and they frown upon civilians having auto open knives.
Right.
But this is one of the ones we got issued back in the day,
Yep.
and it's my favorite knife. And it's good and sharp.
It's a nice knife.
It is nice.
It's
my whoopee.
Do you not want to talk about the Ronin?
I will talk about it quickly.
All right. Before we actually move on.
Before we move on, look at this guy. So if you're on our Discord server, you would have saw I took some glamour shots of this hot new pop that I got.
The sacred Jedi pops.
This is a Target exclusive, Ronin and B556. And for those of you who don't know, the Ronin was one of the
Star Wars Visions
right.
Shorts, which, by the way, they're making more of those.
Are they?
Yeah, they're doing more Visions.
Well, I remember them talking about it.
Yeah. But they're definitely doing another season or whatever you want to call it.
But the Ronin was, I think, the first one that had come out.
Yeah, it was that really unique animation style.
And I mean, personally, I think it was the best one. I know that when we did the Visions episode, go back to episode, whatever episode it was.
Oh, who knows?
Sidebar, do you realize that the next episode that we do will be like a couple days short of our 5-year anniversary?
Yes.
You realize that?
I was aware of that. Yeah, that might come up on our next show.
Good grief. Anyway. Yeah, so the novelization, there was a novel that came out that featured the Ronin.
Yep. You read that, right?
And I did, and I enjoyed it. And when I just happened to be in Target, and I was looking for other pops, and I went to Target, like, in the app, and just looking to see if they had a pop, and it popped up, literally.
Yeah.
And it was up for pre-sale. I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to have it.
Okay, so you had no idea it was coming at that point?
I didn't.
Okay.
So it was just happenstance that I got this, and then there was a figure by itself I have on pre-order also.
Just the Ronin?
Just the Ronin.
Without the droid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one should be coming any day now. I'm a little disappointed because the box is not in the best shape.
Yeah, it's a little beat up.
Target didn't do me any favors with that, which is why I didn't feel bad about taking it out of the box for the glamour shots.
Sure.
But I mean, it's a great piece, a lot of detail work in it.
Hell yeah.
And it's got that, like, if you watch the Visions show, you see it's got this, it's like black and white, except for the lightsabers.
Right.
The red lightsabers.
Which is a nice touch.
And the same thing goes with the coloration of the pop. It's like this, like, gray and black and white.
Yeah, like a grayscale kind of.
Right, with the red lightsaber. So very, very cool. I realize that I so infrequently take the pops out of the box that I don't appreciate the level of detail that are on some of them.
Yeah.
And so when this was out of the box, I was really enjoying the level of detail.
Yeah.
And I know the Visions thing wasn't for everybody, and I'm probably, I don't know, this probably going to be one of those more obscure pops, but it's a nice piece.
Yeah.
And I think it'll add greatly to the
sacred Jedi pops.
So yes, I'm stoked. It's very nice.
All right. Shall we get into the main topic for real this time?
No!
Please?
No!
Come on, we got to do it.
No!
But it's the main topic.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
But we have to do it.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Come on, can we just get into the main topic?
They're all gonna laugh at you.
All right, I guess we won't.
No!
Oh.
No!
That's the beauty
No!
of Adam Sandler in the 90s, because as we're like putting this whole show together, right? And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we can talk about some of his comedy albums, because that's where my mind went, right? Comedy albums. And then I'm like, oh yeah, he had a few in the 90s. And then I'm thinking, well, he was also in movies. I'm like, oh no, he had a shitload of movies in the 90s.
Right.
And I'm thinking, and then of course he started the 90s on SNL, and I'm looking at his whole fucking his resume just in that decade, and I'm like, fuck, man, he did a lot of shit. He was fucking everywhere. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, he was a comedy icon for our generation.
Yeah. As much as people want to, like, I think he's an interesting comedy icon, if you will, because he's not he doesn't fit that traditional role, right?
No, definitely not.
Because he's kind of the guitar playing, kind of very goofy type thing where he's not really known for stand up.
Right. He
It's
does
very
characters. He's a very vocal
Right.
comedian, but it's like character voices, things like that.
Yeah, it's like individual skits and things like that. But you're right, in the 90s, like I'll tell you, we're going to talk about some stuff that I have never laughed harder at
Yeah.
than some of the things we're going to talk about. Even with, I would say, funnier things to my palate than even Monty Python or Eddie Murphy or some of the others.
Yeah.
Just some of them just hits just so perfect. Excuse me.
So we're going to get this started off with a little segment that we do on the show called This or That. Where, you all right?
I just burped something. This is, ugh.
You going to make it?
Probably.
Okay. Fuck.
No!
Sorry. I was trying to pull up
No!
This or That. But anyway, we do a segment on the show every week called This or That, where our social media director, Luna Girl, puts up a poll on her Instagram. What is her Instagram, Dave?
No!
And she gives you two options. We go over the options or the results here on the show. Obviously, this one being about Adam Sandler. So we're going to start off with your favorite SNL Weekend Update character. We have Cajun Man or Opera Man.
Opera Man was the better one.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think that many people liked Cajun Man, quite frankly. Like I'm familiar with the character. It's okay. It's got some humor to it, but I mean Opera Man was far more iconic. And like you go back and you watch like Best of Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live, Opera Man's the one that comes up. Cajun Man not so much, but Cajun Man actually won 60% to 40%.
Okay.
But now switch that over to Twitter, and Twitter said, which by the way, sidebar, did you see that Elon acquired fucking Twitter today?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, apparently it went fucking through.
Shut up.
Yeah, pull it up. We're looking it up live.
No!
Yes, we are.
No!
It's Twitter.
Twitter, Elon Musk. Let's see. We are sidebarring the shit out of this.
Mm-hmm.
44 billion.
I really hope he does what I asked last week and just fucking shuts it down as soon as the fucking ink is on the paper. Just walk into the fucking server room and just do. Wow. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Struck a deal on Monday to buy Twitter for roughly 44 billion in a victory by the world's richest man to take over the influential social media.
Drop in the bucket.
Yeah, frequently by world leaders, celebrities, and cultural trendsetters.
Crazy, right? Yeah, I just saw that like maybe an hour before you got here.
Free speech is a bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, Mr. Musk said in a statement announcing the deal. Twitter has a tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. I don't think he's going to shut it down. He's going to...
No, that's just, my wishful thinking. But if he doesn't, then I may have to reactivate my account after all these years.
I keep mine active just because, I have to, honestly, for me, it's where I do a lot of my sports. Sports Center, the place for sports.
Yep.
Anyway, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Twitter picked Opera Man 81% to 19% over Cajun Man.
See, I should have practiced some Opera Man stuff before we went on.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
So, Adam Sandler songs from SNL, the Thanksgiving song or the Hanukkah song?
See, I went with, I think when I took the poll on Instagram, when I took the poll on Instagram, I think I went with the Hanukkah song. But when I listened to the Thanksgiving song again today, I think I would have went with the Thanksgiving song because I don't know. I think it's funnier.
Yeah, it's got some good moments, but I think the Hanukkah song is so iconic, and he's got multiple versions out there, like the Hanukkah song Part 2, and just Like, that's the one that actually got radio play and things like that. So I think I went with the Hanukkah song. And the Hanukkah song won 68% to 32%.
Yeah, honestly, with either of those, I don't think you can go wrong. I think they're both very funny
Mm-hmm.
and part of the holidays. You know, you're going to listen to one or the other.
Wrap that turkey in aluminum foil. My brother likes to masturbate with baby oil. Twitter picked the Hanukkah song 83% to 17%. All right, movie time. Big Daddy versus Little Nicky. Fun fact, I have never seen Little Nicky.
I saw it.
And plus, I think that was in 2000, so we're not talking about that today. But for the purposes of the poll, I picked Big Daddy. Even though I have thoughts on that movie, too, that we'll get into when we start talking about the movies.
Yeah, I think Little Nicky actually has funnier moments in it.
Yeah.
Than Big Daddy.
Fair enough. Big Daddy did win 64% to 36%. Even bigger landslide on Twitter, 75% to 25%. All right. This is where things got interesting. We've got The Wedding Singer versus The Water Boy.
Okay.
This was tough. This was really tough for me because I fucking love both of these movies. And I think I ended up going with The Water Boy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked The Water Boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Waterboy is good, but
I'm the water boy. I got a wooden spoon there.
I think The Wedding Singer was, I don't know. I just found The Wedding Singer to be funnier.
Okay. And it was close. The Water Boy won 52% to 48%. But again, it was the opposite on Twitter. The Wedding Singer won 73% to 27%.
Interesting.
Yep. And then another one, Happy Gilmore versus Billy Madison.
This is not fair, and Lunar Girl knows it too.
Yeah.
I think she put it in the IG post. Like you know, it has to be one tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Happy Gilmore because for me as a golfer, there's more.
And see, I wanted to get into that when we get to the movie itself.
Yeah, because all of the golf referencing that's in there, I found enjoyable, and like the way that golf kind of plays into it, like the golf community, like the professional golf community actually plays into it as well. They like buy into it.
Yeah.
It's not, even though it's kind of poking fun at them, they also
Sure
enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy Madison, like those two movies to me are the epoch of what Adam Sandler was doing.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really liked Happy Gilmore, but I kind of feel like I might like The Waterboy even more.
Nah, fuck that. Not even close.
Okay.
It's not even close for me.
All right. Well, this wasn't a complete landslide. Happy Gilmore did win 74% to 26%. On Twitter, it was a bigger victory, 93% to 7%. 93. And that was This or That. So thank you again to our social media director, Lunar Girl, for doing that poll for us. You all right?
No!
Okay, then we'll just move on.
No!
But we have more stuff to get to.
No!
Please?
They're all gonna laugh at you!
But we have to finish this.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
All right.
No!
So before we get into the 90s Adam Sandler, just real quick, he was doing a little bit of stuff pre-90s in the late 80s. He had apparently, well, first of all, he grew up in the Northeast. He was born in New York, grew up in New Hampshire, so a lot of time in this area. He had bit parts on The Cosby Show. He was like Theo's friend for a couple episodes of The Cosby Show. He was in the MTV show Remote Control. He had a bit part in that.
I remember him being on Remote Control.
Yeah.
Like just a touch and go.
Mm-hmm. And then he was later discovered, I say, by Dennis Miller, who I guess caught one of his comedy acts. And Dennis Miller was on SNL at this point.
Right.
You know, he was getting towards the end of his tenure on SNL, but he was still on, and he recommended Adam Sandler to Lorne Michaels. Lorne Michaels hired him on in 1990, and he officially joined the cast in 1991. And I wanted to bring this up because listen to this fucking cast in 1991 for Saturday Night Live. All right, you've got Dana Carvey, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Victoria Jackson, Mike Myers, Kevin Nealon, Chris Rock, Julia Sweeney, Tim Meadows, Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider, David Spade, and Al Franken, all on the fucking cast in 1991 for Saturday Night Live.
And people wonder why our generation has an issue with the current version of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Right. And I know people make jokes about how they romanticize about the 70s SNL or whatever, but this is us.
Mm-hmm.
This is our 70s SNL cast.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, for the as funny as SNL was with the skits and then the movies subsequently that came out with these cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, like what an unbelievable fucking cast.
How lucky were we to have...
Yeah, and you wonder why we were, at like what, 15, 16 years old watching fucking SNL every single week.
Yeah, that was, in high school. We were old enough to get it. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. Whereas I think today, I don't think young people are watching SNL at all. I think it's, their audience now is like the aging people, like people our age who lean left now are the ones who watch it.
Well, I think people are, unless it comes up as a, I don't know, a meme. Like if something funny happens and it shows up on a meme, that's probably how people are digesting it. But otherwise, excuse me.
Yeah. But as we talked about during this or that, he had so many iconic characters and sketches. You had the Opera Man. They had the Lunch Ladyland sketch, if you remember that. He also, I think that song ended up on one of his albums too. I love the Red Hooded Sweatshirt song. If you remember that, with Kevin Nealon just chiming in every sentence. You had the Zagat's couple, which we may talk about that again as we go on throughout the show. One of my favorite sketches that he was in was Bobby Watches Grandma. I don't know if you remembered that, but Michael Keaton was the guest on the show that week, and Adam Sandler was the old grandmother who did the voice just like They're All Gonna Laugh at You.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, it was that kind of similar voice as this grandma, and he was the grandma of Michael Keaton and Chris Farley's characters.
No!
Yes, actually. And oh my God, the sketch was so fucking funny. Because you had this combination of Chris Farley's fucking like physical humor,
right,
and Adam Sandler and the voice, and then Michael Keaton, who actually did a terrible job in this. You can see him reading the fucking cue cards like the whole time. But it was such a good sketch, and it's probably one of my favorite Adam Sandler SNL bits.
Well, and you know what's funny? I think about it now, like, because all right. Nerd alert, right? So I had theater arts and everything when I was in high school.
Nothing wrong with that.
And when I was watching like SNL, and you'd see these actors come on that are obviously they're only there for so long to like rehearse and do these skits, right? So to memorize all the stuff that the cast obviously has probably worked on some of these skits, and it's just insert famous person here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously aren't working off of cards, or they're probably ad-libbing some stuff or whatever, and now you got this poor schmuck that's in the middle of it. And that's where some of the comedic element is. And I think I can appreciate, like in that skit, I can appreciate Michael Keaton's having to read something. Like it adds an element to it, because there's like something almost funny about like how out of place it is.
Oh, sure. And then he's still got to go into the physical comedy where he's beating up Chris Farley.
Right.
And it just such a great sketch overall. So you just got to go back and watch it. It's called, what did I say it was called? Oh, Bobby Watches Grandma. Good shit.
Oh, yeah. I saw that when I pulled up, it's one of like, if you go into Google Adam Sandler top SNL stuff, like it's one of the top 10 things that come up.
Mm-hmm. He had the Canteen Boy sketches, which the Canteen Boy, he had that, it was an early iteration of that Cajun, Bobby Boucher from The Waterboy.
Right.
But like the fucking one where Alec Baldwin was on there, basically as like a fucking Boy Scout counselor or whatever, like basically molesting him.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck. That was...
Yeah, do you get away with that these days? Probably
I can't,
not.
No.
Even on a fucking after hours sketch show, I don't know that you get away with that. Especially not the way SNL is set up these days.
No,
if
no,
it's
definitely
as politicized as we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was it was fucking wild. But yeah, man, he did SNL for several years throughout the early 90s, and one of many iconic fucking cast members at that time. But were there any SNL sketches in particular that you rather enjoyed?
I mean, we have our top 5 Adam Sandler skits.
True. Yeah.
Coming at the end. So
I guess if you want to save them for then we can do that.
I'll probably save what I have for then. I will say that I was not a huge I'm not a huge opera man.
No.
Like during the weekend update thing, it just okay. Like it had a moment, and then I think it just gets overused. Like it's just hits a little too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's funny, but
I guess if you're not in the kind of mood for his type of humor too,
well, it's one of those things where all right. It depends on where you are on that needle, right? It's like, all right, if you're doing this particular thing, quite frankly, I think Adam Sandler does some of his best work when he's either just by himself, or that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
If by himself, or he's maybe with one or two other people in working a skit,
right?
The straight guy playing with the opera man thing that would happen on Weekend Update, to me just never really worked.
Right.
Just to my fucking palate, I guess. And I just I don't know. It just, there was a lot of those things that I just was like, okay, that's kind of played out a little bit too much for me. But where I think Adam Sandler did his best work was on the comedy albums.
Right, and that's what we were going to roll into next, because his tenure ended on SNL in '95, so he was only there for not even a full 5 years, because he had too much going on. Because in '93, I think, is when he released the first of his comedy albums. They're All Gonna Laugh at You.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Now, I don't know if you remember when you first heard this, but a buddy of mine in high school bought this right after it came out, and I wasn't aware of it at all until one day I was over at his house. He's like, dude, you got to listen to this. And he throws on They're All Gonna Laugh at You, and I was fucking hooked at that point.
No!
Yes, I was actually.
No!
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Well, I laughed at it.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
And I mean, there's so many iconic ones on here, but all of the buffoons that are on here were favorites of mine.
So I'm going to be a contrarian here and say that I wasn't a huge fan of the first album.
No?
There was a couple of bangers on there, but compared to, so if we're talking about Adam Sandler's albums, I went,
What the Hell Happened to Me?
Yeah, What the Hell Happened to Me first. And I was like, fuck, that was so fucking funny. I have to get the other album.
Right.
And then I was like, it was kind of a letdown compared to that.
Oh, see, yeah, because I heard them in the order they came out. If you went the other way, I can see that, because, and we're going to talk about this when we get to What the Hell Happened to Me, because a lot of people really like that album. But again, we'll put a pin in that.
Yeah, a lot of people. Millions, in fact.
The thing that I loved about these albums, though, was the cast of characters that he'd get on there, because it wasn't just him doing stuff. He had a lot of his SNL alum, just for instance, in What the Hell Happened, or They're All Gonna Laugh at You. Sorry. He had Rob Schneider, Tim Meadows, David Spade, Chris Farley. Conan O'Brien was in the first Buffoon sketch on there. He was the Dean of Admissions in the Buffoon sketch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you've said that, I can hear that voice. Okay.
Yeah, that was fucking Conan O'Brien. So he had all kinds of...
that makes sense, because he was writing on SNL at the time.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, while Adam Sandler was on SNL, he was a writer on there. So great shit. And it sold pretty well. It sold, I think, just a hair over 2 million albums. And again, for a comedy CD, that's pretty damn good. And this was the thing too about the 90s, that we've talked about the music of the 90s, and we kind of touched on this when we talked about the music of 93 when Denis Leary's Asshole came up, right?
Right.
Because, that came from a comedy album, but he had a couple of songs on there as well. I own that album. It was called No Cure for Cancer was the name of the album. And I owned a shitload of comedy albums throughout the 90s, starting with that, Adam Sandler. I even bought a Martin Lawrence comedy CD, Jeff Foxworthy. So comedy albums were big in the 90s. But yeah, I was over at a friend's house listening to They're All Gonna Laugh at You, and I loved some of these sketches so much. So I'm a little disappointed that you didn't like the buffoon, but I mean, I get it if it's not your thing. But the thing that I love about those is the fact that he's just saying this outlandish shit, and whoever the other character is in the sketch is just, talking normally, just playing it off.
Yep,
like
just keeps going.
Like, yeah, I've got a big fucking boner right now. Well, that's understandable during periods of nervous tension. I do not take offense.
Right.
One time I ate my neighbor's shit. That's understandable.
Right.
Well, thank you for, it's just the crazy outlandish shit, and just the other person just playing it completely straight. I thought was fucking hilarious. We talked about when we took our pee break before the show, The Longest Pee.
Right.
Because again, toilet humor is the best. Like, you could throw toilet humor into anything and it's going to get a laugh. And he barely does anything in this. It's mostly just the sound of someone pissing a lot into a toilet.
Right.
But it's hilarious.
And then disturbingly amount, like, wow, he really should have that checked.
Mm-hmm.
It's as older, in middle age now, we're like, man, what could have caused something like that? Yeah, it's potty humor's fucking funny.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and then
I don't control that.
No,
it just is what it is.
It's a cheap laugh, but you know what? It works.
Right.
And oh my god, there's so many good sketches on this, but we won't dig too deep into They're All Gonna Laugh at You, only because well, you said it's not your favorite, so that's why we're not.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Right, exactly. So, but in doing my research, I found out that this album sold enough to be the number 5 comedy album of all time.
No shit.
Yeah, so They're All Gonna Laugh at You, the 5th highest selling comedy album since they started tracking those numbers.
I wondered though how much of that came from the success of What the Hell Happened to Me.
That's a good question. And
because somebody like me who listened to What the Hell Happened to Me and was like, oh fuck, I covet more of this fucking hilarity. I'm going to buy this other album. And yes, there's definitely a couple on there that I was just like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. But not as many as I did with What the Hell Happened to Me.
Sure.
But as we'll talk about here in a minute, timing is everything.
Sure.
Right. When What the Hell Happened to Me came out, we were.
It came out. So this came out February 13th, 1996. So I had been in basic training for 6 days when this album came out.
6
days.
Okay.
I started basic training February 7th of 96.
Did I short circuit or something? What's that mean?
What are you talking about?
Did Dave short circuit or something?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
Does it sound okay?
You sound fine to me.
Did I have a stroke?
Maybe.
No! Sorry.
Okay.
Responding to the chat.
Yeah, we're slow on the reactions today.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Go ahead.
Oh fuck! I lost my place.
You were 3 days into basic training.
Yeah, when this was released. So February 13th, 1996.
Yeah. And I was just enlisting in 96, so when I bought this album, I think I had this album, but didn't really listen to it until I got to tech school in 97.
Yeah, and I didn't listen to it until after I had gotten out of basic training in school and everything. So, yeah, I have strong memories of getting here to New Jersey for the first time and finally being able to listen to this album and just thinking it was hilarious. And like, I was living in dorms at the time, because when you're in the military, you're early in your career, they put you in dorms with all the other people your age. And so many people had this fucking album, and everybody was fucking quoting it and playing it all the time. It was all over the place.
So one of the, I might have talked about this before, but one of the first things I did when I got to tech school,
I'm Baby Lincoln.
The first things I did when I got to tech school was I bought this this 3-disc CD changer Sony shelf system.
Oh, nice.
Right. And we were, at the time, it was just before I got the Bay Chief room on the first floor. So I was on the third floor at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and John McDonald, and I had the radio set up so that when it played, it just basically went down the entire hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Same thing. It's the dorms set up.
Yep.
Down in Keesler. And while we were doing like, we were, having our GI parties and, cleaning and buffing the floors and doing all that shit. The kids that are around today don't know anything about that, by the by.
They just have house cleaning show up.
Yeah,
and, like,
they just
vacuum.
have fucking, anyway.
It's a kindler, gentler Air Force.
And we wonder why we have issues with airmen and being able to do basic shit.
We'll put a pin in that conversation and save that for after I retire.
Yeah, but we digress.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Triple CD changer.
Oh yeah, so one of the albums, so there was 3 albums that were in there all the time, right? One of them was Marilyn Manson.
Nice.
The other one was Wallflowers.
Okay, that's quite the dichotomy there.
Yeah, and then this album,
Man.
right? So when this would play, it'd just be for everybody just fucking laughing their tits off.
Yeah.
And right from the fucking jump too, like the skit we just did.
Right, the joining the
beginning of
cult is the first track on that album.
Yeah, it's the
Oh, where did it say the fucking score?
Right. It's like, the nighttime is the right time.
Yeah.
The nighttime is the right time. Yeah, yeah. Fuck the sun. I hate it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Long live the
that
fucking
line.
beast.
I fucking use that line all the time.
Do you?
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's queued up if somebody says, like, oh, go out into the sun or whatever. And in my brain, like, okay, hit the button.
Yeah.
Like in the sound box of my fucking brain, it's like, oh, play the drop. It's like, fuck the sun. I hate it too. Yeah. It's just, it just lives in there from listening to that album so many times. And then Marilyn Manson and then fucking the Wallflowers.
Yeah.
Wallflowers, one headlight fucking blaring in the hallway.
Like, I don't know if you could pick 3 different fucking albums to put in. That's great.
They're in the fucking CD case of justice right there.
Hey, I believe you, man. It was a interesting time.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, it was just on rotation, man, and we were all fucking just laughing our asses off.
And
it
I
was
mean,
a good time.
So many fucking iconic sketches on this thing. I mean, you got the goat, the goat sketch, which everybody I knew fucking loved that sketch.
Listen. There's a couple of times during this album where I laugh. I just did it. I was listening to this in the car driving down here, right? And I laughed as hard as I did damn near the first time I heard it. And the Respect one.
Oh, I fucking love the respect one.
Because there's a portion of that where it's like you can visualize everything that's happening.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, I think of my grandparents. It's every time I hear that, I'm like, that's my fucking grandparents.
Little Nicky, telling his grandfather and his friends at the social club about his first day at school, right?
Yeah.
And you got they got all the voices, right? And then you fucking Sammy, go jump in front of a fucking truck.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, my favorite part was the RESPS.
Sammy,
what the fuck? Are you a fucking moron?
Them talking over each other, but that one part, like I'm laughing, and then when he's like, what does he say? It's
like, don't respect the wolf.
Don't respect. Yeah, exactly. Don't respect the wolf. Sammy, jump in front of a fucking truck. Just.
And again, they're all saying this in front of this like 5-year-old kid too.
Or when he gets pushed off the fucking seesaw,
and what was that boy's name?
Donnie. Oh, it's like some Irish name, of
yeah,
course.
like Donnie McMillan. He's fucking
He's
dead.
Fucking dead. Right. It's like, I'm gonna mail his balls to his fucking mother.
Yeah. Hey, disrespect my grandson.
Oh God, it's such a great sketch. It's such a great sketch. And then it's like right after that one is the fucking goat sketch.
Yeah.
Right. So you're calming down. It's like, okay, that was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You're calming down. You're catching your breath, and you're like, oh, here's this talking goat. Right. Okay, this sounds fucking weird.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're gonna get me down. All right. Like, oh, so he comes down and he comes off the fucking truck. He's like, ooh, the grass is soft. I like that got imprinted into my fucking my permanent memory.
Yeah.
Like that. Like anytime my foot touches grass, ooh, the grass is soft. Like, every fucking time, right? Talk to John. Like it is as automatic as the fucking sunrise.
Wow.
Like I can't think. Like there's no point where a body part touches the grass where I don't think, ooh, the grass is soft.
Mm-hmm.
My kids do the same thing because I said it so many times that they say the same shit. I don't think
They don't even know why.
They have no idea where the fuck that came from. They just know that I say it.
Right.
And then go from there with the football. Oh, you want me to catch football? I got
Oh, come on.
So then it's like, all right. And so then picture, you got the shelf system, right?
Yeah.
And there's 2 speakers, and you get the football.
And they do sound effects.
Right.
Like you can hear them go.
Clop, 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 and it's going across the speakers, and then you hear the ball. Bam! And it's just the sound, and then the hit, and then fuck me in the gotas. I just peed a little. It's so fucking funny.
That's a quote that like my friends would say all the time. Fuck me in the goat ass.
Oh, fuck me in the gotas. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking whiz that thing, fellas.
Yeah. Put me in the mosh pit. Pass me around. Crank it up, fuckers.
Just, oh god, like that. Just those 2 back to back are like. I forgot how fucking funny they were.
Yeah.
Like it's been a minute since I listened to it, and I forgot how fucking funny that was. So I'm listening in the car, and I think I went through and I on the drive down here, and I was like, I skipped through a bunch of them, and so I could listen to some of the other albums. Holy fuck, if those 2 aren't the funniest fucking things that I've ever heard. Like, oh, fuck me in a gotas.
Yep. And then you've got some more recurring sketches. The Excited Southerner, which is very Bobby Boucher-like. It's that same fucking voice and everything.
Fuck, I used to be able to do the Excited Southerner.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, while you're thinking about that, then, of course, you had track 11. Do It For Mama, which... such an awkward...
Oh, do it for Mama.
Why?
You got some balls and some cock. You gotta stroke his schlong or at least bite his nuts. Oh, give me a carrot. I'll show you.
Like, even back then, in 96, I felt awkward listening to this.
Your cock and balls. There's a little bit.
Yeah, like, it was funny, don't get me wrong, but, so fucking awkward. And nowadays, this would never fly.
Fuck no. Just
maybe on Pornhub, but that's about it.
You got some balls and some cock.
Yeah.
You gotta stroke his schlong or at least bite his nuts.
Yeah, where he's doing the older like Jewish lady voice, but this time she's telling her kids that they all need to like fucking.
Do you need me to show you? Give me a carrot. Where are you going? Don't embarrass me. I'll try not to. Everything embarrasses you at this age.
Maybe you can eat a little food and play with your cock and balls.
Cock and balls for a little bit. It's so, what level of holy drugs, alcohol, whippets, I don't know.
He had to be on something.
Holy shit, do you just fucking, like, all right, it's going to be, here's the premise. Here's what I got. It's going to be a mother who's really, really into her kids playing with their balls. And she's it's like, well, what do you mean? I mean, like she tells them to jerk off all the time.
Yeah.
Like in the house?
Like literally.
No, outside.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be outside, like in the pool, and she's going to be like, hey, you should take out your dick and jerk off.
Yeah.
How are you going to, like, what? How's that going to be funny? It's like, oh, we're going to do this really outrageous voice, and it's going to be fucking, just wait.
And for some reason.
Read the lines.
Yeah. The executives at the record company and everything else are like, brilliant. It's hilarious.
Give me a carrot. It's so fucking. When she goes to the neighbor, it's like, oh, hey, Mister such and such, you're the fence. The frisbee went over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, I'll get it. Oh, so while you're over there, why don't you pull out your cock and balls just for a little bit? You can stir up my jugs and pick that big hog of yours. No, I think I'll just go get the frisbee. Oh, okay. Hey, if your son gonna come over, I don't know what happened? He just doesn't play with the boys anymore. You know, he can come over. You know, he's got a big hog. You know that. It's like Jesus Christ. And what's thinking about it today, it's like they try and play it off as normal, but they don't. Like it's obvious. Like it's just every day. Like that. This like okay, mom's got dementia.
Or maybe it's like, you know, once a month she just drinks too much and then this is where she goes.
Like, you got some balls and some cock. The cock and balls just for a little bit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Crazy that made it, you know, past
And it starts out so innocuously too. It's like cannonball or whatever,
Yeah.
like just splashing around in a pool.
Yeah, she's bringing us sandwiches.
Like, I you know what you know what's funny. Oh God, I'm gonna go to hell for this. But I have this vision of an aunt that has since passed, and older, and we used to have these. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. We used to have this. This isn't like true confessions of a thing. Don't worry, it's nothing like that. But
Dave's reliving some childhood trauma.
like, oh my God. You take it out just for a little bit, yeah. Just take out your cock and balls. No, she was you know, she drank considerably, and she'd have like the highball and she like clinking around, and she had the shakes a little bit, so like it would shake, so I could just picture like, oh, why don't you take out your cock and balls just for a little bit, you know? It's just. God.
Isaac says you're safe here.
Oh,
Dave.
thanks, Isaac. I appreciate it. To you know whoever's going to watch this later, go like,
Yeah.
oh, this is why Dave's in therapy. Yes, now we understand.
So,
You got some balls and some cock.
and like I fucking love the last sketch before the last song, the fucking sex or weightlifting. I'm Barry Lincoln. Are these people having sex or working out in a gym? And it's always like
Yeah.
sex. And
Yes.
the guy's like, oh, the people are definitely having sex. No, I'm sorry. Oh God, what? What'd I miss?
Oh, Rick. Oh no, God no. I can't confirm or deny.
Oh, that's right. You have family in the chat.
Yes.
Whoops.
Oh God. Oh, that's funny. But you can see it, right? You can see it. Oh, why don't you take out your balls and play with them a little bit?
So
Where are you going?
we talked about how They're All Gonna Laugh at You sold 2 million copies.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Number 5 comedy album of all time.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
What the Hell Happened to Me
Yes.
sold close to 2.5 million. The number 1 comedy album of all time. Still to this date.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it, which is astounding if you think about some of the comedy albums that have been out there, right?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
back in the day, like in the 70s, you think about Richard Pryor, Steve Martin,
Fucking
Eddie
George
Murphy,
Carlin.
George Carlin, all
Yeah.
of those comedians.
They're
like,
all releasing albums. Robin Williams released a bunch of albums.
yes, that's how you got their material.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't like HBO fucking wasn't out there
Mm-hmm.
at the time. Like, you went and you bought a fucking comedy album that had this material on it. So the fact that like he benefited from the CD,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because CDs were like now in full effect.
Yep.
I wonder how much Columbia House played into it.
I don't know if they had much in the way of comedy
I
selections,
don't
honestly.
remember either.
I recall having to actually buy them in stores.
Yeah,
not
I'm
get
pretty
them.
sure I bought this one.
Yeah.
Um,
I know I did.
I bought it for sure. There's 100% I'm sure I bought it.
Yeah.
No!
And they're all available on Apple Music, by the way. So if anybody wants to go back and re-listen to these, they're all there.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Yes, and that's how I did it. You can have this. You can have. Oh, fuck me in the Coltas. You
Yeah.
can have that lossless if you're listening to Apple Music
Mm-hmm.
as it's going channel to channel. The football gun. The thing is pointy, fellas.
Yeah. And so, yeah, to this day, still the highest selling comedy album of all time. And then he immediately followed it up the next year with another album, the What's Your Name album. And that's when things started to go a little sideways.
Yeah.
So I was excited for this. Obviously, we were riding that high from What the Hell Happened to Me, and he immediately comes out with a new album. You can see there's a track on there about the goat, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking great. Buy the record. How old am I? Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Buy the album, and it's all music. There are no sketches. It's all just songs, and a lot of them aren't that good.
Right.
And it was like, what the hell happened to you, Adam Sandler? Right? What the hell happened to me? It was like all of a sudden, it's like, no, this isn't what I wanted. I wanted more sketches. I wanted, more of what we got with the last two albums.
Right. What made that so good was it was a fucking comedy sketch album.
Yeah.
Like,
now,
this is what made it so fucking funny.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of his songs were still really good. We may talk about those again later as we get going. But at the end of the day, it was really about those comedy sketches. And I don't know if he got misguided, if he was misled, or if this was just him like being Brian Wilson and just like, I got to do something different from what I've been doing this whole time, or what. But yeah, he did this album, all songs. I didn't like it. I didn't like most of the songs on there. The goat song was okay.
Yeah.
The Lonesome Kicker, which they actually had a music video for that. It was decent.
Yeah,
you know,
Lonesome Kicker was okay.
Yeah, if you're familiar with football, then it's funny. Especially at that time in the NFL when you had all these like South American kickers, like the Grammatica brothers, if you remember them. And
how could you not? They were around for like 3 decades. For
yeah, but I mean, it was very timely for what was going on in the NFL at the time. This was pre like Sebastian Janikowski and fucking what's his nuts from the Patriots, Vinatieri and all that. And when, kickers were really thought as these just like little fucking frail guys who did nothing but, the
laces
kicks.
Out.
Laces
out.
Exactly. The laces were in. But, it didn't sell well either. Sold 500,000 copies, which I mean is still good for a comedy album, but significantly less sales than his previous 2 albums. And he had one other album at the end of the 90s in 99, and I didn't even get it at that point. Like the What's Your Name left such a sour taste in my mouth. I'm just like, nah, I don't care anymore.
I didn't either. In fact, there was an album that apparently came out in 2019 that I had no idea was out.
Yeah, he's had a few albums over the years.
And I listened to some of that, and yeah, it's more... I mean, he has like the one in 2019, which again, we're talking more about 90s stuff for this pod, but there was it was mostly songs. It's the same thing. There was no skits. It was mostly songs.
So you think he would have learned, but apparently not.
And there was like some like little stand-up type things where he's kind of like
like actual stand-up routines.
Yeah, like a story, but then like it doesn't get into much.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, and do you have any memories or anything about that follow-on album, the What's Your Name?
No, I do not actually, because I remember buying it. I remember not really enjoying it, and I just put the other album back in.
Yeah, I was pretty much the same way.
It was because I bought it. I distinctly remember buying it at the Triangle.
Oh yeah, the Triangle over in Keesler.
Yeah, and then Triangle, they had it like in the little section,
the little shopette there. Yep.
Shopette, and I remember buying it there when it showed up, and it was in my fucking little 3-disc player for a minute, and then we're like, nah, nobody liked it. The other one goes back in.
Yeah,
and we laugh.
Yeah,
and continue laughing at it.
And that's what happens when you change the formula.
Yep.
You get too big for your own good, and then you change things up, and it's all over from there.
Yep.
So before we shift over and talk about his movies, I think we need to take a quick break. Are you okay with that?
What were you doing over there?
Mind your fucking business.
What are you doing?
I was just going to the next thing on the thing.
All right, I'm just looking.
All right.
See what you're doing over there.
So anyway, we're going to take a very quick break. We're going to come back, talk about his movies, and close this up after this very quick word from our sponsors.
No!
Colt 45 is a dynamite case.
I didn't realize it was that short.
That's what she said.
Oh man. Late 90s when we found a dumpster at the pawn shop. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good at all. I also have to pee, so that was fortuitous that Jason had to pee. Because I also have to pee. La 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 la. I should have practiced the Opera Man thing, but I did not. Because that's a tough voice to get to. I apologize. I'm the worst. So how is everyone? Are you doing well? How's the? I saw there was the full weather conversation earlier that we didn't participate in. So hopefully the weather's nice where you are. Yeah. Backyard TARDIS. I was the kid in the 90s with a used record player listening to Cosby for my comedy. Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I think Carlin. I think George Carlin I heard on with a record first. I think that for like Carlin and Richard Pryor I heard on LP. But for Eddie Murphy, I saw Raw on HBO.
Oh, Raw was so good.
Yeah, we have to do a whole thing on Raw.
That was the one where you talked about Rocky, right? About white people going to see Rocky and then feeling all big and bold.
Right.
Or no, Italians. He was specifically talking
Talking
Italians.
Italians, yeah.
Ice?
No, I shit canned the cup. I'm gonna pee now.
All right. Yeah, when he fucking he talked about Italians after seeing Rocky. You heard me. Pay for my fucking candy. Drink this water real quick. All right, what I missed in the chat? Yes, it was the longest pee. Be an Allentown. I'm fine. We're fine. We're all fine here. How are you? I think the late 90s one we found in a dumpster in the pawn shop. So that late 90s one, it was like Bebe's Kids or something like that. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh my God, Cheech and Chong. Oh, they had some good fucking albums. What was the one sketch? The Cheech and Chong sketch I remember the most from one of their albums was where it was a guy, he was like a drug enforcement cop, and he went to a school, like a high school, and he's like, "Can anybody tell me what this is?" And then of course in the classroom they're like, "Pot, joint, Michoacan, man. No man, that's homegrown. No man, it's Michoacan." And then he passes around the marijuana and it just disappears. Talking about Cheech and Chong albums. And then you got Basketball Jones. And of course, Dave's not here. It's me, Dave.
Who?
Come on, open up. I got the stuff.
Dave's not here.
Open up the door. It's Dave. Dave, D-A-V-E. Will you open up the goddamn door?
Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave's not here. Oh, God.
I think the cops saw me come in.
Cheech and Chong. That's fucking great. All right, so going to do this. And then, so for the next thing to do.
Drinking some Diet Dr. Pepper this evening. Hooray.
Must have drank him some 15 of those Diet Dr. Peppers.
Yep. No carbs. No calories either.
All right. I'm ready.
Let me get my iPad back up.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna talk movies. Do our top 5 lists. Fuck, I forgot to put the top 5 list in the notes.
Son of a bitch.
Just remember to do that after we talk about the movies.
Why don't you do it right now?
Why?
You have the technology.
All right, fine. Top 5 lists. Are you happy?
Are you happy?
I'm never happy.
No!
All right, get that fucking banner off of there so we can get back to business.
Why couldn't the banner can stay up there?
Fine, whatever. Can just do a countdown whenever you're ready.
This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com. This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
Are we good this time? And we're back! So, let's talk some Adam Sandler movies.
Yes.
One that I don't have listed here in the notes because it was a bit part, but he was actually in the Coneheads movie. And I want to say 93.
Yes.
Uh,
I love that movie. That is like, I don't, look, it's not the best movie.
no.
But, oh, you want to talk about one-liners that I, again, have been imprinted in my brain.
Yeah.
Like Narfling the Garthog,
Mhm.
like that's anything that's takes any level of difficulty for me is Narfling the Garthog.
Okay.
It's every time.
And it was interesting because it was one of many movies that are based off of SNL characters, but it was from the 70s. These characters, the Coneheads from the 70s, with Dan Aykroyd and all of them, but then they added the current SNL cast members to it, like Chris Farley was in it, Adam Sandler, obviously, a bunch of other people. So it was like a really cross-generational Saturday Night
David Spade.
Live thing. Yeah.
Obviously,
So
Kevin Nealon.
So it was very unique, and Adam Sandler was in it, but that I don't consider that to be an Adam Sandler movie.
No, I would agree. That was definitely this is a Dan Aykroyd joint.
Yeah.
But fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And Chris Farley is one of those characters, like we could do a whole nother show on Chris
Oh,
Farley,
yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah, his brand of humor, like he was different from Adam. Adam was a vocal, character comedian, where Chris Farley was very physical in everything he did, and it was great. But the first one that I have on here is Airheads from '94. Which,
Okay.
even though he wasn't the main character in that, he was one of the 3 main characters in this movie, based on this, late 80s, early 90s heavy metal group that basically take a radio station hostage, which
Right.
I fucking love this movie. We've never talked about this, I don't think, you and I.
No, we haven't. We have not done Airheads.
Right. Like, even just in our personal conversations that we've had over the years, for as long as we've known each other, I don't think we've ever talked about this movie.
No.
I fucking loved it. I loved it back in the day. I haven't seen it in many, many years, but I'm sure I'd still love it today.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a minute either. It came out in 94.
Yeah, 94.
94.
Hold on. Wait.
94.
I'm very slow on the draw.
But
Sorry.
94.
94. So, yeah, I liked his character in Airheads too. He was that kind of that quiet, sort of weak sounding character.
Right.
Where I love the scene where him and the blonde are sitting by themselves on the couch, and she's like, "What are you thinking about? Swimming pools? Wish I was in one right now." And like later on when he was like screwing her, and one of the guys from the radio station's like, "I don't get it, man." And they're like, "Oh no, man, that's he gets laid all the time with the whole silent, mysterious
Right.
thing." So
No, it's a good movie. It's worth revisiting.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a hot minute.
now it's not a good quality movie, obviously. It's a silly comedy from the early 90s.
It's not. There's a lot of shit movies out there.
Yeah.
Like that. This is not one of them.
Yeah, especially if you were like a hard rock, heavy metal fan at the time. There was oh my god, like one of the best lines in that was when Judd Nelson shows up at the record executive, and they're talking about like, oh, you're gonna go to jail for this and all this, and he's like, "Look, man, we got good lawyers. Vince Neil only did 30 days in jail and he killed somebody." Which was actually true. I didn't realize that at the time, but he was like fucking driving drunk and he crashed and the fucking passenger died, and he did 30 days in jail for that.
Right.
And of course, I guess if you were plugged into the hard rock scene at the time, you probably knew that. But
Yeah.
it's just it was a funny line. And again, if you're plugged into pop culture, the Van Halen one, right? Whose side were you on in the big Van Halen David Lee Roth Van Halen breakup. The band, he's a cop. They sold a lot of albums after that. So again, I loved Airheads, and again, he wasn't a huge part in that movie, but he was enough.
He was in it, and that character did have a part in it. So it was. No, I agree.
Naked pictures of B. Arthur. Then he starts getting into his own starring movies with 95's Billy Madison. Not a big fan myself.
Okay.
I see why people like it. Very, very quotable, but it's like way on the immature scale when you compare it to the rest of what he's done. Like
I don't. So here's the thing.
Like lowest common denominator type of humor here.
Listen. I don't want Adam Sandler to be.
Wow, I'm already being lambasted. I said this like 10 seconds ago, and already they're getting in my shit.
I don't need Adam Sandler to be anything except just fucking ridiculous and silly.
Yeah.
I don't need, like, the most serious thing I want to see fucking Adam Sandler in is 51st Dates. Like, that's as serious as I want to fucking see see him as a character. Like, anything beyond that is just, I don't want to see it.
Right.
Like, to me, like, these two movies, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, that's it. That's the fucking culmination of a Hall of Fame career. Yeah. Like, those two movies are comedic genius to me.
Yeah, and the thing is I love Happy Gilmore. I love his character in Happy Gilmore. It's a different character. He's still very outrageous, still very just, you'd never see this in the real world, but just such a fucking just outlandish character. But I don't know. I liked that version more than like the immature kind of like voices type of character.
So here's what was to me for Billy Madison in particular. Veronica Vaughn, so hot. All right, so it's the rich kid with daddy and all this other like this little like side plot. These extra little side elements that were happening, right, with Norm Macdonald and his friends that are just fucking always around, with the fucking penguin, with the tent set up, with the stuff with the fucking housekeeper, making his lunches and shit, and just like all of this. There was so many layers of just comedic elements that were in it, and it was never so serious, but it had like this logical flow to it. Sure. That it's just a good comedy.
Yeah, and
it's a good comedy.
And I understand that like it's got a big cult following too.
Jason does need a shower beer.
Do you know they opened up, sidebar, the Escape Pod opened up their show last week talking about shower beers and everything. So it was just a continuation of that conversation.
Well, because that remarkably, for those of you who weren't watching the OT last week, we found out that Jason had no idea that shower beers were a thing.
I still have trouble thinking that that's a widely accepted way of going about consuming alcohol. Yeah. In the shower.
Everyone.
I don't buy it.
Everyone. Dude, I'm telling you, like, Lunar Girl, put a poll on Twitter right now.
A poll.
Yes. Put a poll on Twitter. How many of you have had or have heard of having shower beers? I want to see the results of said poll. Put it up for the week, so that next week we can bring this up, because next week what's the show?
The Escape Pod guys are coming on.
Right, exactly. So it would be perfect, because then we can
go over the results.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Look, see how my mind works? It's like a laser.
I know, it's good.
Yeah.
You got to flow.
No.
All right. So anyway, I don't even remember how we got into that. Oh yeah. So we were talking about Billy Madison, but yeah, Happy Gilmore. That was where I really started to love Adam Sandler.
Well, hang on. Before we get off of Billy Madison.
All right.
Do we want to? All right. We'll save the love interest for later, I guess.
We can do it now. It doesn't matter when.
Because as we're talking about these movies, let's talk about how the love interests stack up as far as like the hotness goes.
Well, again, that's another reason why I loved Happy Gilmore.
Right.
Because what's her name, who later on was big on Modern Family, the fucking blonde who played Virginia Bennett.
Right.
I was like madly in love with her. Holy shit. Whereas what's her name, Veronica Vaughn?
Yeah. So hot.
And
Want to touch the hiney.
and of course Vicky Valancourt, she's a very different kind of
Right.
love interest.
But
So
I think one of the most famous memes I think that's out there stems from the end of Happy Gilmore. Or sorry, Billy Madison, when you have the school teacher, right, that's talking about they're having this epic academic whatever academic-a-thon?
No, not academic decathlon.
Yeah, that thing. And where Billy gives this answer, and then the principal's like, "That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard." All of us are now more dumber from hearing it. Like, that whole thing has been on memes, and like it'll live forever because it is just the reaction is so great because it's like, you will not get any points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Like,
yeah, and that meme seems to pop up every couple of weeks at least
because
in my feed.
It's relevant.
Yeah,
and it's fucking great. That's Billy Madison. And between Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, we already kind of talked about it and gave it away with our weeks. But yeah, Billy Madison was just fucking funny, and I think it established what it established for me with Adam Sandler was the fact that he could not do really anything else. Right. He doubled down with fucking Happy Gilmore, and then like The Wedding Singer was funny, The Waterboy was funny, Big Daddy really wasn't that funny comparatively. Little Nicky had funny moments. And 50 First Dates was a good movie. Like,
I don't think that was even in the 90s, was it?
I don't think so either, but like that's in my memory, that's where I like stack Adam Sandler stuff. And yeah, but these two movies, that's it. Like, this is but just comedic genius. So for somebody, like, if you want to talk about the most successful SNL movies, these have to be it between these two.
And I mean, honestly, I think there's so many good moments in Happy Gilmore, which like really makes it stick out for me. Like, first of all, you've got what's his name, Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin. The character of Shooter McGavin is fucking great. Love him as just this kind of like stuck up golf guy who's, you know, got his little shooter. And you know, it's like his time, you know, he's been working his way up the tour, and like this is his year, and you can just see that. You can just see that in like a real life player. Oh
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like what I think was great about this from a golfer's perspective was that professional golf looked at this and went like, oh yeah, we're gonna play along, right? This is, even though it was poking fun at what the kind of the tour is and kind of the tour lifestyle, but at the same time it showed that, like, yeah, there's some grinding that has to happen, you know, for the tour. And I think that they took full advantage of that. You know, you had Vern Lundquist and you had some other the announcers that were involved in it.
See, the only person I recognized was Lee Trevino, just because I remember he was in a lot of commercials and stuff in like the 80s and 90s, so I knew who he was. I didn't recognize anybody else, like professionally.
Yeah, there was a handful. I mean, obviously you had some famous names that were out there, like with Bob Barker when they were out there.
And that was like that was probably one of the most memorable parts of the whole movie was the Bob Barker scene, his fight with Bob Barker. The price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah.
But you also had fucking Ben Stiller in there as the asshole orderly at the fucking nursing home, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, good news. Arts and Crafts has been extended by 4 hours. He's on the phone. He's like, hey, man, these are handmade quality shit we're talking about here. As he's like making them sew the quilts, and then he was selling them off.
Yeah. I like just to kind of start, like, this isn't just a show about Happy Gilmore, but in the beginning of this was this, all right, you had the hockey player, right? Who's fails at the hockey tryouts. So what does he do? He goes into this scene where he goes into the fucking the batting cages, puts the quarters in, gets the kid out of there, puts the quarters in, stands there like, oh, there's 364 more days to the hockey tryouts. And he's like taking fucking fastballs to the chest, like, oh, that would hurt a little.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, holy shit. And it was fucking drop dead funny.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have, it's, we could do an entire episode, honestly, on this
Probably
movie.
because it's just like one comedy bit after another,
it's
just
one
rolling
thing after
along.
another. You have there's too much. There's too much because there's so much in my head that I want to bring up.
Like I want to dissect this whole movie right now, but no, we don't have time.
That's not what this particular show is about.
But let's not forget Carl motherfucking Weathers was in this too. Was
yes,
Chubbs?
Yes.
And the whole, it's so much to talk about with the hand and the gator.
I've only just begun to live.
And then of course Julie Bowen was the love interest, Virginia Bennett, which she was, oh my gosh, she was like top shelf back then.
So hot.
Yeah,
Want to touch the hiney.
Indeed.
And then you had these like weird, like the scenes with Grandma and Shooter McGavin, like where she's got the kiss mask on and Shooter like grabs her, like. And what's funny, and they brought it up in the chat, and it's extremely valid, right? Dragon Buddy brings it up. The golf industry, because like this made golf not seem quite so fucking stuffy.
Right.
I mean, I've been in golf and playing golf since I was 8 years old, right? And I kind of grew up on a golf course.
Yeah.
So, and my grandfather played, and he taught me the game, and so I was always around it. So this element that people talk about, like with this like hoity-toity thing with golf, like I never really saw it because I was always on the inside of it.
Right. 'Cause I can tell you from an outsider's perspective, that's what we saw.
Yeah. And I never saw it because like I said, I was always on the inside of it. And I think for a lot of people, I can see that, right? I can see where it's expensive. It's hard, right? It requires lessons and practice, and it's expensive. So it's kind of elitist that way because it kind of prices itself out. And it especially did back in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s and 90s, like golf was fucking expensive. Like regripping clubs, just buying clubs, like the technology wasn't available to mass produce clubs like we have now.
Sure, yeah.
So it was really, really hard to be into golf and be a golfer. Now, Happy Gilmore comes on the scene where he's taking this old fucking bag of persimmon wood clubs and he's clanking around out there with a homeless guy as a fucking caddy.
Yep.
And, he's going out there and playing, and the fact that golf embraced that made golf more accessible, I think, to an entire class, if you will.
And it didn't hurt that Tiger Woods kind of hit the scene not long after that, where I know he brought a lot of energy to his game, and that's when golf started becoming more known to people like me from the outside.
Well, 1996 is exactly when 1996 is when Tiger won. Tiger, I think he started his professional career in 1996.
Oh, okay.
So
so yeah, perfect timing.
He had won his first amateur, and then he went on to 97 was actually his biggest. Like Tiger's 97 years, the one for the fucking history books, winning the Masters and everything else. But yes, you're right. It also doesn't hurt where you have somebody who's that young annihilating, just embarrassing the rest of these golfers with how much further he's hitting the ball and how his competitiveness it was just amazing. So it was a really good time to be in the golf industry, and to honestly, the golf industry has benefited from stuff like this, right? Because Happy Gilmore is still, they just had their anniversary, right? We just did a, I think it was 25 years last year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I know Adam Sandler did a tribute thing on Instagram where he went out and did a Happy Gilmore fucking,
I wish I'd seen that. Yeah, I totally did not have visibility on that.
He totally went on Instagram and did that, and basically called out Shooter Gavin on the Instagram post.
Nice.
But the pandemic really helped golf too, because it was this outdoor activity that you could go out and
That's
and
right.
you could do. So, golf is doing better than it ever has, and it's way more accessible than it ever was. It's still, I'm not saying it's any less expensive or anything else, but it's more accessible
Right.
than it was before.
So kind of moving to, why don't we put a pin in Happy Gilmore and come back to that and do like a full episode just on that movie, because I think it deserves it.
We totally could.
Even though we're passing anniversary, fuck it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because otherwise we're going to spend the whole rest of the episode talking about that.
I beg to differ.
No! So I have a special tie to The Wedding Singer.
Okay.
Or a special story, because Kristen and I, because this came out February of 98. Kristen and I had just started dating like the previous November.
Okay.
And this was our first Valentine's Day together. The Wedding Singer came out on February 13th, and I'm pretty sure we went and saw it either on the 13th or on the next day, on Valentine's Day. So along with that, I was also getting deployed that day on fucking Valentine's Day. I think we saw it on the 13th because I was getting deployed on February 14th. This was one of the times when fucking Saddam was kicking the weapons inspectors out of Iraq,
right.
And we'd build up our fucking forces and all this. So I knew I was getting deployed. It was my first ever deployment. Kristen and I had only been dating for a few months, and then this pops up, and it's like, fuck. But we had this really good night together watching The Wedding Singer together. We both really, really enjoyed it. And then my flight got delayed a day because of high winds in the area, because we were coming out, taking off out of McGuire. So we actually got to spend Valentine's Day together, and then I shipped off on the 15th.
Nice.
But, The Wedding Singer was a big part of that whole window of a couple of days.
Neat.
Yeah. And we ended up seeing it at a theater that's like right over here somewhere. We at the Marlton.
On 70?
Yeah, we ended up seeing it there. Where most of the time we were seeing movies over in Burlington because we were closer, but for some reason we had to go to that theater to see The Wedding Singer. But yeah, I digress. But either way, yeah, we saw The Wedding Singer in 98 right before I shipped off, and fucking loved the movie. Although, kind of in hindsight, I feel like the movie was nothing but like a bunch of 80s stereotypes.
Oh, yeah.
To where it's like, I mean, obviously people weren't really like that in the 80s. Not everybody dressed like fucking Miami Vice or fucking Madonna. Not everybody drove a DeLorean or, wore the Frankie Says Relax shirt or any of that stuff. It was very over the top, very over exaggerated 80 stereotypes.
Well, what would you expect from an Adam Sandler movie, though?
Right.
I mean, you expect it to be exaggerated.
Well, and the interesting thing too is like this was probably the most straight character he's ever played up to this point in the movies. Like his character in The Wedding Singer was probably one of the more normal characters in this movie.
That's true.
He was just,
and this is the first joint that he did with what's her nuts?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore, yeah.
Yeah, because she was the love interest in that one. But yeah, he leaned a lot on his more musical side because obviously, as we've talked about, he was really into making music at the time. He was famous for several songs, not so famous for a song-only comedy album that he released, but
yeah,
he really leaned into the musical part of this movie, and it was good. It was very entertaining. Sweet movie.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Then we had
I really don't have that much connection to it. I know it's me personally, I feel like it's more of a chick movie.
Sure, that's probably why they released it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine.
But later on in the year, they released The Waterboy, which I think it was either that summer or that fall in 98. And I fucking love that movie. It's so ridiculous, so silly. This Cajun guy growing up in fucking Louisiana or whatever,
right?
With this fucking white trash girlfriend and his fucking overly possessive mom,
right?
But
who was played perfectly, by the way,
by Kathy Bates. Yeah,
Kathy Bates plays that part absolutely perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Sidebar: Kathy Bates it's really funny because you would think that her look would really typecast her, but she's been in like the stuff that she's in, she's really fucking good.
Oh yeah, she's a great actress.
Comedy stuff, it's like holy shit.
I'm pretty sure our first exposure to her was fucking Misery too.
Was that the first? I know that
it was either that
my first.
It was either that or that fucking fried green tomato bullshit. Which fuck that movie. You talk about chick flicks.
Well, yeah, it is.
Pass.
It's a chick flick.
Yeah.
It's not meant for us, Jason.
Oh, I
at
know.
all.
Trust me, I know.
No!
But unfortunately, I had a mother and a sister who loved that movie,
No!
and they watched it all the time.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
I didn't laugh at that movie.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Probably.
Totally a chick flick.
Yeah. But I fucking love The Waterboy so much. So many quotable lines in that movie.
True.
And just his ridiculous character. Stop making fun of me. And he'd fucking go and tackle people. And I loved it. This was one of the first ever DVDs that I owned.
Okay.
By the way, because now we're getting into the late 90s where DVDs start popping up.
That's right.
Like 97, 98 was when they were starting to be more widely adopted. And yeah, I had The Waterboy on DVD. I watched the shit. I probably saw The Waterboy 20 times in 99.
That's really funny.
At least. Yeah. So, and then to round off the decade, he did Big Daddy in 1999, which,
yeah.
it was all right.
Yeah. I wasn't. Again, it was kind of a drop off.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was him probably at a stage of his life where he was probably getting a little bit more mature.
Sure.
So it was back in the Billy Madison days. It was probably super, super easy to fucking be that character because
Right.
he was probably partying with Norm Macdonald and doing all those fucking things.
Mhm.
So it was easy to fucking be on set and do that shit.
Right.
And then, same with Happy Gilmore. Wedding Singer, Waterboy was obviously, it was a character,
Yeah.
right? But not so much the party. And then Big Daddy, and then you start getting into like a more serious, like trying to.
Yeah, because if you like look at his resume after 99 into the 2000s, he jumps back and forth from like comedies to like super serious movies.
Right.
And, some of the stuff hits and some of it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not hate for Big Daddy. Didn't hate
No,
the movie.
I remember watching
'cause
it once.
I know in the chat they're talking like, I think I might have saw it. I think Kathy and I might have saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I can't remember if I saw it in theaters or if it was on home video later, but I know I saw it once, like, okay, that was all right, and then just never went back to it. Because it doesn't have the quotable lines that you get in fucking Happy Gilmore or The Waterboy or anything like that. You know?
It's an expectation thing, right? So if you're watching it and you're like, oh, fuck, this is Adam Sandler. I want to say that, like, even the trailers had it as, like, okay, this is going to be kind of like a buddy, like this situation where you have this, like, guy who's obviously not
Doesn't have his shit together.
Yeah, it doesn't have his shit together. Should not have be anywhere near a fucking child.
Mm-hmm.
And shenanigans ensue, where there was like a more serious element, I think, to it. That it's like touchy feely part that I just wasn't. I want to watch fucking Happy Gilmore.
Right.
Same thing with listening to the fucking comedy album. Like I was like, oh, I wanted, or fuck, what was the name of the other album?
The good one.
The good one.
What the hell happened to me?
What the hell happened to me? Wait, what did happen to me?
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, but again, not taken away, and they're spouting off quotes from Big Daddy in the chat. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining.
It was. Yeah.
But it was not a watch it over and over again kind of entertaining like all of his previous stuff.
Yeah, the stick with the rollerblader is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Scuba Steve, like we had a Scuba Steve in the senior academy, one of the Coast Guard
Oh, really?
guys. Yeah, we call him Scuba Steve.
Nice.
Anyway,
So, do we want to get to our top 5 list?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so as we were about to go live, we decided to do our top 5 Adam Sandler sketches, and we can pull these from any source, SNL, comedy albums, what have you, and yeah, we're going to go over them for you all right now. So let me just make sure I have...
No!
Yes, I need to make sure I have my references right.
No!
Well, I do, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
No!
Yes.
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
They are.
Hopefully, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of this whole thing.
All right. So do you want to start or do you want me to?
I'll start.
All right. What do you got for your
Wait,
number?
How do we? You usually start, don't we?
It's random.
All right. I'll start.
All right.
So my number 5
Mhm.
is he's not like he's not even the primary guy in this fucking sketch, but it's one of the the SNL sketches. I'm not big on SNL sketches in general, but this one in particular, I brought up on a pod before. It's the Schmidt's Gay fucking commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
With him and Chris Farley.
Right.
The beer commercial.
Yeah, the beer commercial.
Yeah.
It's just like I know you could make a fucking million jokes at this point. Like, why would they have liked this commercial? But it was just
Yeah.
it was just like, honestly, it's Chris Farley, right?
Right.
Chris Farley makes that, and then Adam Sandler and Chris Farley together.
Well, yeah, because their reactions together
Right.
as it's like all these dudes in the Speedos and they're like, whoa.
All the timing element of everything, and they obviously were like really close. And as a sidebar, it's not one of my top 5, but on the newer album that I listened to in the 2019, he has the Chris Farley song that's on there,
Oh, really?
and it's
Like-
it's actually really good.
Like a tribute kind of thing?
yeah,
Nice.
and it made me think about how that group must have been super super tight.
Yeah.
And
him, Farley, Spade.
yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, in today's day and age, with the way that the industry is, can you still like have these relationships? Like, can these comedians that like are in SNL and on these other things, can they have, like, are they coming up in the same way? Can they have these same relationships? Because obviously they were all close.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, in the Chris Farley song, and when you're watching them do all their stuff together, like, you could tell that there was like, obviously they knew each other's timing. There was just
There was a bond. Yeah.
It was really really good. And like, even in a short little thing like this, which is probably one of the better SNL things that they had ever put out.
Yeah.
It just even though it's short and it's goofy as hell.
Well, it was a parody of like current beer
Right.
commercials, right? Because there were beer commercials where two guys were drinking and there'd be all these girls in these like
Right.
bikinis and everything, and they were reacting that way. But now they flipped the script
the
and
pool was empty, and then suddenly they cracked this fucking, their Busch Lights or fucking Schmidt's Gay or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everything changes.
yeah.
So
And sidebar, like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, when did Chris Farley die? He died in like the mid 90s.
yeah,
Like, he's been gone for a long time, and we're still talking about him.
yeah,
You know, so fuck, he died in 97. He died fucking 25 years ago this year, December 18th. We're gonna have to talk about him.
oh yeah,
That's fucking crazy to think about. And yeah, when I Google his name, immediately there's like this backstage picture of him, fucking Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, and David Spade all together, like hugging.
yeah. So it just, not to bring the tone of
I
everything
know.
down, but
Yeah.
no, when I was kind of throwing the list together, it made me think about that. It made me think of the Bond, because I had, as my others deserving mention, because it was outside of the 90s, the Chris Farley song, and it just it was something I wanted to add.
So, all right, my number 5. In the comedy albums that we've talked about, he has a lot of recurring bits in them. Like we talked about the buffoon from They're All Gonna Laugh at You. From What the Hell Happened to Me, we had the Excited Southerner, and there was another recurring bit in They're All Gonna Laugh at You, and that was the severe beating recurring bits. And the severe beating of a high school Spanish teacher. This resonated so much with me and my group of friends because we had a fucking Spanish teacher at my high school who was this lady. The way she fucking talked, the way she enunciated her words, everything was this fucking high school Spanish teacher that we had to a fucking T. So when this fucking came out, and like this was like the most brutal of that whole series too, by the way, because all of them it's like, oh, and you hear like one punch and it's like, oh, whereas this one,
like the janitor, oh, my bucket,
yeah,
oh.
whereas this one it ends with wha bam, wha bam, wha bam, wha bam, boom. Her fucking body hitting the floor.
Right.
Like he beat the fuck out of her. And it was perfect because in 93, this was our sophomore year of high school. So we had all taken Spanish 2 with this lady. And this just resonated so much with me and all my friends. And we're like, that's her. I can't remember her fucking name now to save my life, but
Probably for the best.
yeah, it was so fucking hilarious. And even going back and listening to it like this week, I just fucking laughed my head off when I heard that. Ayúdame, ah, Dios mío, no.
Dios mío. That's the only reason I know that Spanish phrase.
Yeah.
Is from this.
Right.
Dios mío.
So.
No. Anyway,
But that was my number 5.
that's awesome.
My number 4 from the same album, They're All Gonna Laugh at You, was The Buffoon and the Dean of Admissions. This was the first Buffoon sketch with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Where you're first introduced to him, and again, Conan O'Brien playing it completely straight.
Yeah. This is the snake one, right?
Yeah, I got a snake, man. One time I fed it some beer, man. It was slithering this way and that. It was all fucked up. He's like, well, we do not allow consumption of alcoholic beverages on campus. Fucking shit. That's not an uncommon reaction to this policy, you know? And it just goes on, and I fucking loved it so much. So of all the Buffoon ones that are on here, I love that one. But I like the one with him on the date too, the drive-in movie theater date. That girl in the fucking car in front of us, she gives everybody head. But anyway, that was my number 4. Moving on to yours.
So my number 4. I actually I have to adjust it on this list. I'm gonna work on the fly here.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 would be the Thanksgiving song.
Okay.
It's good, right? We talked about it earlier. It's as a sketch, as a song on that album, the All Gonna Laugh at You album. Like it's just funny, and it's just funny. It's Adam Sandler, early funny, just goofing on a fucking song.
Mm-hmm. And it was on one of the albums. Didn't that?
It was on All Gonna Laugh at You album.
Yeah, but did he also do it on SNL? Because I know a lot of his songs he did on SNL and on one of the albums.
Yeah.
So
it was on both.
Okay, cool.
Because he did it. I think he did it on, the news thing.
Weekend Update. Yeah, he had so many. Like every week, he was on Weekend Update, either doing a fucking song or doing Cajun Man, Opera Man. So all right.
No!
Yes. All right. So that was your number 4. Your number 3.
My number 3 would be, do it for Mama. Do it for Mama.
The cock and balls.
The cock and balls.
So
It's a cock. You gotta stroke his schlong or at least bite his nuts. No, get me a carrot. Where are you going? It's just...
It's so
it's
awkward.
so ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous and awkward.
Yeah.
It's just like...
But you still listen to it over and over because it's just...
balls, just a little bit. Like, everyone's just going about their lives.
Yeah.
Just like, and again, Rick bringing up the particular aunt.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
My number 3, I briefly touched on. Actually, I don't think I did much, but you talk about that bond with him and Chris Farley from SNL, the Zagat's sketch.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's the old man and or Chris Farley plays his wife. Right. And they're going through the Zagat's restaurant guide. And oh my God, I fucking love these sketches so much where, you know, she's like, I say she, but it's Chris Farley talks. He's like, ooh, you hear that, Hank? And he's like, give me cancer now, God. Or when her fucking sister shows up, and it was David Duchovny, also in a fucking dress, and he sits on the other side, and like they're both going back and forth. And I say this all the fucking time. Anytime I'm between like two people and they're saying something stupid, I'm like, I'm in the middle of a moron sandwich. I've got stupid in stereo. And if you watch this too, at one point before David Duchovny shows up, he grabs the fucking Zagat's book from Chris Farley and he's ripping it up and he's like trying so hard not to laugh. Actually, if you watch this whole thing, Adam Sandler is fighting off laughing the whole time throughout this. Like it's, and you can see Chris Farley's like egging him on too. He's like rubbing his leg and like trying to get him to fucking laugh.
Dude, I can't imagine being anywhere near Chris Farley and trying to keep my shit together.
Oh yeah.
Like it had to have been just nonstop. Just like, oh my fucking God. Just like, he just had to be that person. Like he just, when you're around him, you're just like, oh my, I'm going to piss myself. I'm going to fucking laugh.
Yeah, but that Zagat sketch, honestly, that probably should have been higher in my fucking top sketch because,
well,
it's so good.
I think it's just like with I deliberately didn't like, except for the one, I wanted to bring up Chris Farley into one of them, but other than that, I wanted to keep some like the Farley element out of it, if you will, because it kind of lifts up everything.
Sure,
like it's that Farley bump.
Exactly.
That would add into it. Not that it takes anything away from Adam Sandler, but like there's obviously a Farley bump when it comes into a lot of this.
Yep. So I think we're my number 2 now, right?
Yeah.
And that's again from They're All Gonna Laugh at You. The Oh Mom. The
no.
They're All Gonna Laugh at You.
No.
I think the timing in that one is so fucking funny.
No!
Like after everything they said, and she says,
No!
but you know, they plead their case, and then she says,
No!
and then she says,
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yes.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
It's so fucking good.
No!
It's simple
No!
but hilarious.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yes. Yes, they are.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
And then, of course, what's the last line she has to...
They're all gonna laugh at him.
Yes, exactly. How you doing, Mom? Great dinner tonight. Say, is it okay if I go camping with my friends next weekend?
No!
But yeah, fucking just, so good. So good. But
Yeah.
that was my number 2. How about yours?
My number 2 is the fucking goat.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me in the goat ass.
Yeah.
Oh, and purely for like, I'm just I close my eyes, and you know the clink 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 clink. Ooh, the grass is soft.
Yeah, they did great sound effects with
Right.
that.
It's just like you can picture in your mind, and then just the football flying through the stereo,
Mm-hmm.
like coming from one channel to the other, and then him clumping along, and then boosh. Oh, fuck me in the goat ass.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That thing is pointy, fellas.
You fucking wheezed that one.
Oh god, it was so we had like, so on that Sony deck, that 3-disc deck, it had you could hit like it would go back like so many seconds.
Mhm.
Like, so it had like I don't know, whatever you would call it, like not a full skip, but you could like skip back a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
So we would do it with the fucking CD all the time. Like, so it'd be like, then it, like we just hold the button back a little bit, and it goes, boom. Ah, fuck me in a goat ass, and then rewind. Oh, fuck me in a goat ass. It's just
Right.
like over and over again. I just can't. If there's something in your life that you can hear every time and it makes you laugh,
Mhm.
that's fucking good shit.
Yeah.
That's the good shit. That's the stuff that has to go on the top shelf.
Mm.
Excuse me.
All right. That brings us to your number 1.
My number 1 is the fucking respect fucking one.
Oh, that was so good.
And it's because of it's the visualization,
Mhm.
right? So you have the visualization of everyone in the social club, right? It's got all the little voices that are kind of going in the background.
Yep.
And the suddenness of the turning on Sammy,
Yeah.
right? Because he's that guy in the background, right? He's like, it's squishy. Yeah, he knows it's squishy. It's Play-Doh, right?
Sammy's a moron.
Right? And when, don't respect the condom. Like, it's just,
A condom? What the fuck?
what the fuck? I'm gonna put a condom on your fucking tombstone, you fucking moron. Like, but again, rewinding to a point where it's the fucking bit where he goes, don't respect the wolf. Sammy, jump in front of a fucking truck.
Yeah.
Like, you can just, I just picture in my fucking head, and
Yeah.
every fucking time it is just, it's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny.
And we're going to spell it again for you. And Sammy, you keep your fucking mouth shut. Consider it done.
Consider it done. I at one point I had that whole fucking sketch memorized. I could do the whole fucking thing. I could, and with the voices, and I should really work on that again, because like I said, I haven't listened to any of this album in forever.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, it had been a long time before we started talking about this.
Yeah, and it just opened up this fucking, again, when you can laugh at something like this.
After almost 30 years,
Yeah,
too.
it's got to go on the top shelf.
Yeah.
Like, it's, there's Monty Python skits that are going to go up on it. There's your top shelf of things that are going to make you laugh every time you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, these two skits are right there.
Yep.
Out of everything we've ever talked about, like, these two skits are up there.
Yep.
So it's fucking brilliant.
Well, and like your timing couldn't have been better, because my number 1 is the very next track on that disc, Ode to My Car.
A piece of shit car.
So
I've got a piece of shit car.
we talk about how number 5 like was very near and dear to my heart.
The fucking pile of
So
shit.
was this fucking
Never
track
gets me very far.
because at this point, like, when we were growing up, the cars that we got were typically fucking hand-me-downs, whatever you could get for $400 or $600 at the time. And they were always like, these were like, my first few cars were all cars from like the fucking 70s, right? That my parents were able to like either get for a few $100 or I was able to eventually buy myself.
Dude, I had a string of 1986 whatevers.
Yeah.
Like I've had 1986 Ford Escorts, I've had 1986 Plymouth Turismos, I've had 1986 Plymouth Grand Ams or Pontiac Grand Ams. I've had 1986, you name it. Like for whatever reason, I had an 86 Mustang. Those years for a car, hot garbage. Every single one of them had major fucking issues.
Right.
And it was a like, I'm going to pay $500 for this car, and then I'm going to work on it to the point where it's more expensive to work on this car than it would be to get another $500 car and then get another one.
Yeah. And when I heard this song for the first time, I'm like, this is my life. This is me. And the song just fucking resonated with me. I absolutely fucking loved it. I would listen to it over and over again and relish every second of it. And it's funny too because it's done in like a Jamaican style song, but he sings it in like a Mexican American accent. You know, it's kind of funny the way he presented the whole song, but just everything in here just fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
and
dude.
it's almost all happened to me at one point.
Oh yeah.
Plus the seat cushion's got the big rip. And the spring always pokes me balls.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Plus the door locks are busted. I got to use a fucking coat hanger.
What a pain in his ass.
If a girlie ever sees my car, there's no chance I'll ever bang her. You never ever get to see.
Never. That's right.
But yeah, just I fucking loved that song. And
Piece of shit car. I've got a piece of shit car.
it sucks royal dick. Yeah, fucking just.
Piece of gas sucks my ass.
Yep.
100% crap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Others deserving mention for sure.
Yeah. And like same with the respect. Like I can't get enough of that fucking track.
Oh my god. Sammy, jump in front of a fucking truck.
R-E-S-P-S. What the fuck?
fuck?
Sammy, where'd you learn how to fucking spell?
Ah!
All right, and that is our Adam Sandler in the 90s discussion.
Yeah. So, others deserving mention? Do you have any?
I don't have pretty much you could put anything from What the Hell Happened to Me in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um
I put for others deserving mention for the Oh Mama, like we talked about. They're all gonna laugh at you.
mhm.
They're all gonna laugh at you. It made my others deserving mention. Obviously, it is funny for those reasons.
Mhm.
And then on this new album, right? Again, we're only talking about the '90s, but on the new album, there's a lot of tracks,
Yeah.
like, but they're real short. It's
Right.
like a little music, and then there's like some a little stand up, and there's like a music thing. But there's a track on there called Uber Driver.
Mhm.
It's like it's done like rap style,
Okay.
and it talks about like the Uber driver stinking. It's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Alright.
If you haven't already, like, we can put it on maybe like while we're in the cleanup mode.
Sure.
It's actually I was laughing. It was fucking funny.
Yeah, and this makes me want to kind of go back and listen to some of those albums because again, he's released like maybe 5 albums since the 90s. So in all of the 2000s. So I mean, maybe there's some good stuff in there. I mean,
Yeah, there might be a hidden gem in there that speaks to you, but yeah, it's just fucking
yeah. But
respect.
all
right.
A B C D
Respect.
E F G.
Respect.
I won't do the whole thing. That Elemento, they always go together.
They always go together. H. You getting a little long.
Yeah. All right.
Gotta respect the Play-Doh.
So next week, I confirmed with the Escape Pod guys that at least 2 of the 3 of them will be joining us next week. Hopefully, we'll get all 3 of them.
Yes.
I don't think I heard back from Brady yet, but the other guys will be on here. We're going to talk some Star Wars, particularly upcoming Disney Plus shows, some Obi-Wan theories. We're going to even do our own pitch for what we want to see as a Star Wars Disney Plus series, and it should be a fun discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably a little chaotic. I don't know how well we're going to do with 5 people, but fuck it.
We'll do it live.
We will do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
There you go.
Do it live.
Fucking thing sucks.
You got any more Red 5 stuff to talk?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yes. No. Congratulations to the Salty Nerd Podcast for reaching 5,000 YouTube subscribers this past weekend.
Damn.
Fuck.
Send some of those our way.
Yeah,
Fuck.
what the fuck, over? You can catch Alex, Vader, Kadish, and Jude over on YouTube.
Hey, Jude.
Don't make it bad. Make a sad song.
See how I can just derail him? Like, just with a couple syllables.
Remember.
That was terrible.
All right, anyway. YouTube and your favorite podcasting app. I'm supposed to do this in a voice, right? Luna Girl left us, by the way. Her husband is on another show.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, so she left us.
What the fuck is he on?
Hang on, let me scroll up in the chat.
That's
Press
good.
Play Streaming Studios.
Whatever.
They're chatting.
They're talking about the Lost Boys. I love the Lost Boys.
So we'll hop over there after we're done.
Yeah.
People.
Sexy saxophone man.
Monday Night Positivity is contagious with the Red 5 Network at fuck positivity. At 7:45 Eastern, tune into a special horror edition of Press Play Streaming Studios where Alan and guest DB are discussing Lost Boys. We just talked about that. After the Weekend is coming out. After the Weekend is coming at you 8 p.m. Eastern with a hangout stream with special guests Astro 93, Legion Games 2076, and Amen Fate. Following them, WSTR Media goes live at 10 p.m. Eastern with The Road to Obi-Wan, Jedi Fallen Order. At midnight on the East Coast, join S&P Late Night over on the Salty Nerd Podcast, where Salty and his guests Tom and Kadish review episodes 3 and 4 of the new Amazon Prime series, Outer Range. The Red 5 Network now has 37 amazing podcasts in their family.
I'm 37.
From live streams to audio drops on your favorite podcasting app to pre-recorded YouTube episodes and shorts, there's literally something for every personality. Browse through bio.link/red5. That's bio.link/red5. No, bio.link. Slow down, Dave. bio.link/red5. Check out the daily promos or shoot Luna Girl a DM on any of our socials. She can suggest something you'll absolutely love that is perfect for you. Totally not kidding. For the Cantina family happenings, the Use and Abuse pod will be reviewing Free Guy tomorrow. Join Scott and Kim in their live chat at their new time, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Finally, a reasonable time.
Indeed.
On Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be chilling out with The Princess Bride. Join Don Delasnooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy in their live chat in 1900s or 7-ish p.m. Eastern on the YouTubes. Princess Bride. Is it an anniversary or anything right now? Or just
No, I feel like we passed an anniversary a couple years ago.
Did it?
We'll do this live. Hold on.
inconceivable?
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
No!
Princess Bride came out in 87. Oh, it is an anniversary year.
87?
In a row?
I'm 37.
So significant. Tune in to ATSW, the Escape Pod. Get in on their chat with the Princess Bride.
Indeed.
On Thursday, you can find Luna Girl the Merciless getting her Sith on with 97 Bravo, General Shinobi, and the Mandalorian on Star Wars The Old Republic. The gaming session will be live streamed at Red 5 Network Gaming on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern. Pop into the live chat anytime and say hey. Subscribe to Layman's Terms on YouTube and check out episode 2.0, number 4, Magic the Gathering Arena. Give them a follow on Facebook for updates. The Orange and Fett Show released episode 27, Weird Al Yankovic. Subscribe to them on Spotify and give it a listen and be notified of upcoming releases.
Wait, who's talking about Weird Al? Orange and Fett?
Yeah.
Nice.
Big Sweet is setting up his new studio toys. Chat with him on Discord, follow his updates on Instagram, and check out some of his hits on the quarantine sessions on Swede Studios at Swede Studios on YouTube. And I can tell you that I've had some sneak peeks into his upcoming release, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah?
It's going to be really, really good.
Nice.
It's a nice tribute, and it's going to be really good. He's it's going to be really good. What's really funny is like, so he posted recently, he had a picture of like old, like young him with his fucking this one guitar, and then apparently he like tracked down the same model and year of that guitar, so it's kind of like, you know, now he's got it like his old axe
Nice.
with it, so it's not the same exact one, but it's like the same year and model and everything, so it looks exactly the same. So
That's cool.
He's fucking dude. If he doesn't start making some money on that fucking studio, he's doing it wrong.
I know, right?
And what else we got? Oh shit, we got all this. You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to YouTube, audio, Patreon, and our latest Spotify music mixtape, and our all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Also in the bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. We have t-shirts and hoodies in a wide variety of designs, sizes, and colors. There are Sidebar Cantina face masks. Wonder if Don's going to be sporting a Sidebar Cantina shirt to pay off the bet that he lost.
He fucking should.
That should be a thing,
Yeah.
since he's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah. You hear that, Don? I know you're in the chat. You better get on it.
Anyway, it's Squirrel. The Sidebar Canteen face mask, tote bag, phone cases, exclusive stickers and pins, just about anything you can imagine. Please tag us with your merch so Luna Girl can share it on the socials. Reviews! This is when Jason goes in to look for reviews. Please write us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app or on our Facebook page. Screenshot it and DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter. Tell us what you love about the show. Luna Girl has a fresh order of stickers and would love to throw some swag your way. Don't forget, we will read your review word for word on the next episode. That,
Nothing new.
as they say, is that. Yes, please, pretty please, with sugar on it. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to us. I know watching other YouTubers, they go through this whole thing of like, oh, wow, hit the subscribe button, and then to do this, and look at this happen. I don't know why it went into that voice.
Wow.
That
Took a turn.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
But yeah,
See, you should have done it with the mom. Oh, why don't you pull out your cock and balls and click the like button?
Hit the like button, and then you can pull out your cock and balls and play for just for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where the fucking what's the fucking masturbation monster from that show.
Well, it talks like this. That's what the talk is. It's a masturbation monster. What is it called? I don't know what that show is. Damn it.
I got
They
nothing.
got some balls and some cock. They gotta stroke his schlong or at least bite his nuts. Anyway, yeah, I think I might have had a stroke. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you've got the voices all cross-pollinating up there.
Josh Shinobi.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? I don't know. It just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just.
All right, I think that's a good omen to close this out. I feel so uncomfortable
It's
right
the
now.
Gremlins. It's
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Mogwai.
No, Mogwai is like it's not as raspy. Like the Mogwai has that like singing. It's like the.
Yeah.
It's more
Right.
like that
Uh-huh.
as opposed to the like. It's like a, more raspy, kind of aggressive.
Okay.
Like there's a difference between a Mogwai and a Gremlin. Like any. Why am I doing this?
I don't
What
know.
is happening
They're
right
asking
now?
if you're all right in the chat. So
Is Knife Boy okay? I don't know. No, Meatballs does sound like that from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
yeah, that's another one I was thinking.
It sounds.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some switch flipped in my fucking brain. Sorry.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us up to this point, and I think we're gonna go before Dave has pops an embolism or something in his brain.
No!
And we'll see you all next week
They're all gonna laugh at you!
when the Escape Pod guys come on the show
They're all gonna laugh at you!
for a 5-way fun fest.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
Hopefully.
They're all gonna laugh at him!
All right. And I guess that's it. Are we doing an after show or an OT or anything?
Yeah, we can do a short one.
A short OT?
Sure.
Okay. But I think Kristen's going to bring dessert in here.
Yes.
In
so we
between.
can do like a not muckluck.
Mukbang?
Yeah, mukbanging OT.
All right. So that is it then. We are going to do an OT after this. So stay tuned on our YouTube.
Yep.
Switch over to the OT if you're interested in sports. Otherwise, thank you, and we'll see you all next week. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, go fuck yourself. Fuck. I stopped recording before you could do the...
They're all gonna laugh at you!
Right. Fuck. All right. That's all right. I'll fix it somehow. Anyway, I guess we'll end this stream and
Yeah, open up the OT.
yeah.
Now do we have to? I mean, do we have to do the?
We don't have to. We can just do a post show.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Well, why don't we just keep it post show then? Because I only have one sports thing to even talk about.
Well, the USFL. We had games.
Yeah, I
but-
totally missed those.
Yeah.
But
the Stars won, so they're
Okay.
1-1 this week.
yeah, I just want to know what the fuck is going on in fucking Santa Clarita right now with the fucking 49ers and pissing off Deebo Samuel, one of the best fucking athletes in the league, getting him to want to fucking trade. We're in a post show. We're probably not going to do an OT after all. Oh god, those look so
I
good.
don't know why they look so crumbly. Rob made them, but I tasted one and they taste fine.
Oh my god, I want to eat them so bad.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit over my carb
I
limit.
was gonna bring in some Brussels sprouts for you, but I couldn't find them in the.
That would have been funny.
You can't use regular ketchup though. If you're a ketchup person, you can't use ketchup.
On Brussels sprouts?
People do it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
People do it. I've seen it.
No.
I've totally seen it. Yeah. 100%. I don't do Brussels sprouts personally.
Wait, the Brussels sprouts themselves are okay, but
Brussels
as
sprouts are
ketchup is
delicious.
going
But putting ketchup on Brussels sprouts? That's
up,
fucking
it smells
disgusting.
Like a fart all the time now. All the time.
I made them in our Instant Pot.
Company today. I had to apologize. He goes, oh, that's what I'm smelling.
The Instant Pot made them perfectly, by the way. Like the perfect degree of mushiness and everything. But there was an odor in the air when they were done. Not going to lie. But, I mean, it's worth it. Brussels sprouts are fucking awesome.
But ketchup.
On brother, yeah, who the fuck thought of that? And you're serious?
I'm serious. I've seen it.
Oh god, I'm really feeling sick just thinking about that. I'll just watch you eat peanut butter squares instead. Oh my god, those look so good. I think she did this on purpose.
Do you want me to bring you in a keto peanut butter?
No, I'm done eating for the day. But thank you. No, fuck, I gotta get this shit under control first.
No.
I'm just gonna watch you eat. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now see, that's not bad. Like Brussels sprouts with a little garlic, olive oil. Yeah. Like I just seasoned the ones that I made today with sea salt and pepper.
Why Brussels sprouts and nuts and something like, I don't know, asparagus?
I don't know. I've always enjoyed Brussels sprouts. The way my mom made them back in the day, she'd make them fucking perfectly. I think they were probably coated in butter, but I mean, I fucking loved them. And like I've always, anytime I've had an opportunity to get them, I would get them like when they had them at the Chow Hall, when I was living on base and everything.
Chow Hall Brussels sprouts sounds really bad.
They weren't that bad. But again, you got to have a taste for Brussels sprouts. And then when I was able to start making them on my own, I did, and I still enjoy them. I don't know. I have a taste for them.
know what I have a taste for?
Peanut butter squares.
Yep.
Oh, they look so good. Oh my God. So my coworker, the guy who I'm dog sitting for right now, he is giving me so much shit about retiring. He's like, you're going to get fat when you retire. He's like, you're going to get fat. I can already see it. I'm like, nope, not going to do it. I'm going to keep going to the gym. I'm going to keep running, going to, eat right. And he's like dead convinced that within 6 months of retiring that I'm going to gain a shitload of weight and everything. But I'm like, nope, not going to do it. So now I had just out of pure stubbornness, I need to not do it. But, yeah, he's giving me a lot of grief over it.
Always saute, never steam. Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, I had to steam them for the Instant Pot. Like, that's how it works. But Instant Pot's good, man. It's a very handy thing. I make hard-boiled eggs in it. I make fucking vegetables in there. I've made no, we have a rice cooker to make rice in. But yeah, I got.
Can't eat rice anymore.
Yeah. That's kind of a big one for carbs. So, and again, I am not going like full keto. That's the thing. Like I'm going low carb. Like the idea is to keep it under 175 carbs a day kind of thing. Not like keto where I think they try to keep it under like 50, I think is their limit.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I have no idea.
Like, or like, do you remember when Atkins was a big thing?
Yeah.
Back in the fucking like early 2000s, like Atkins was like 0 carbs, period. But it was like, you can eat anything else you want. You can eat all the fucking bacon, all the fucking steak, all the fucking eggs and everything you want. Just don't eat carbs and then you'll lose weight. And it kind of worked, but those people also started dropping dead of fucking heart attacks. So you got to find a balance where what I'm doing now is I'm doing low carb, not 0 carbs.
Right.
And then you're just cutting out all the bad shit, the processed shit and all that. A lot of vegetables. I'm eating a lot of salads. And just kind of counting up what I'm doing. So. And really the idea is just until I can get over this liver shit. If I can kind of heal from that and like let it regenerate a little bit, I obviously won't go back to my old ways of like getting pissed drunk a couple times a week while also eating like shit. And
you just get pissed drunk. Don't worry about the eating bit.
Yeah. But I think that's where I got kind of fucked. It was like this perfect storm last year because, I was bulking, first of all. When I was going to the gym and I was fucking bulking. So I was eating a lot at that point. I was eating like fucking 6 eggs a day. I was eating like fucking rice and all chicken and just like fucking protein powder twice a day. Like I was really like bulking up. But I mean, you saw the results of that. Like I was getting pretty fucking beefy, like muscular wise. But obviously that probably couldn't have been good for my innards. And then as soon as I hurt my shoulder, I immediately transitioned from that to just eating whatever the fuck I want. It was like fucking Taco Bell, once or twice a week, fucking all the desserts that Kristen would throw in front of me. I just fucking scarf down.
Oh, because you go to comfort food.
Yeah.
When you're in pain, you go to comfort food.
Exactly.
That's
So
why I sit here and eat fucking.
Right. So, but I think it was, this bad combination of like eating for bulk and then immediately transitioning into drinking like a fucking sailor and eating all the fucking desserts and all the Taco Bell and everything else. And
sidebar. That whole drinking like a sailor thing. I'm pretty sure that I've drank many a sailor under the table.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I think, should be more like drinking like air crew or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Because as air crew, we fucking we put our bodies to the limit, to the test, and
they paid us to be alcoholics, and then deliberately fucked with our sleep cycles.
Yeah.
On top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And only towards the end of our careers anyway, our flying careers, it was like, yeah, we don't want you to drink yourself to sleep. So here, you can take Ambien to help you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. But then, of course, people would mix that in fucking alcohol, too.
Which is bad.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
bad.
Oh, yeah. I'm not condoning that behavior. I'm just saying.
That's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah. Be like fucking Heath Ledger. Go to sleep one night and never wake up.
Is that what happened to Heath Ledger?
Yeah, he was on like fucking sleeping pills, alcohol, and I think some other fucking drug, like maybe coke or something.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I think they said it was like an overdose of prescription medication to include sleeping pills and alcohol. And that was it. Went to bed. Never saw him again. So, anyway.
Peanut butter squares.
Good stuff. It looked good.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Rob did a good job.
All right. I'll be sure to tell him that.
Yep. They were delicious.
All right.
Yeah, we should go.
All
It's
After 8.
it is after 8.
All right. Well, thanks
Not the
everybody
mints.
who's still stuck with us.
Yeah,
this
go
long.
over to press play. Yeah, press play where DB and Lunagar are.
Yep.
If you're still hanging out with us.
Yeah. I think we just got Tom and Don left in the chat.
Yep.
But thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You are the best.
Yeah, next week there will definitely be an OT because we have the escape pod guys.
Yeah.
So have them on the OT. We can talk football with the draft because the draft is this week.
Oh, fuck, it is?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we'll have draft results. Be ready to talk draft, guys.
Hopefully the Niners move Garoppolo during the draft.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Jimmy G's the future for you.
You
Why do you think Debo's leaving?
You could shut your whore mouth right now.
I'm telling.
All right, I'm done with you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
All right, we're out of here.
I gotta do Hank for
Tom?
For Tom.
All right.
Hang on. See, after doing all the other voices, Hank becomes a little bit more difficult because it's like it's a different octave than I'm used to doing.
It's very different.
So what if I tried to do Hank doing the whole, like, the cock and balls? You got some balls and some cock. You gotta stroke your slong or at least bite his nuts. Get me a carrot. Where are you going?
Somehow that's even more disturbing.
Hank Hill reads inappropriate things, part 1.
Oh, God. Oh, we could go so many places with that.
I know, right?
Ugh.
It'd be fucking fun.
All right. All right, we'll see you guys next week with the whole cast, hopefully, of the Escape Pod
Yes.
in tow.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers, gents and ladies.
Peace.